victim and also hero at the same time. So really, it's all part of the plan, man. Usher in.
So basically, everything I said before seems to be pretty accurate. That he's just a pawn in a grander.
And also, I want to get that video off you again, like the 9/11 case closed, because I need to show somebody. But also, all that stuff that's leading up until now, absolutely. I mean, look what's going on right now. You know, with Israel, they're making their actions now. Why are they making their actions right now in this moment of time? Because they know what's coming. Because Trump's going to be president again, and everything is going to be okay. You know what I mean? Like, there's something bigger planned here. And like you said, all this shit, all this noise right now is all distractions.
I'm telling you what's going on. I'm going to tell you exactly what it is that's going on right fucking now, okay? There's a great reset happening economically. So America's not going to be the superpower anymore. We're not going to use the petrodollar, but they're trying to save at least the grand scheme of these things with an integration of a global economy going into digital currency, okay? They got to collapse dollars in economies to make people have a solution. It's no different than the Great Depression and the same exact thing that I believe happened, I think it was Napoleon, and when they said...
Not gonna work.
So hold on, I'm going to finish what I'm saying. So the level is, because, can't get a point out if we're trying to talk over each other, and I'm trying to make a fucking point. So the next thing is, let's not forget about those Maui fires and the super fires that happened in Canada, and it turns out that these governments actually have land patents and deeds on them to build these super fucking cities, which are going to go back towards the smart grid, which is the credit social beast system created and implicated in China. So what is being implicated in China will eventually happen in America. Because, the more you fight something and you go against it, it grows fucking legs, dude. And it's real, but the more you accept it and try to identify those areas within the psychological, sociological, and ideological foundations of what these governments stand for: communism, socialism, fascism, democracy, and then republicanism. What is a republic? And people don't study law enough to understand that there's two different sides to this as far as what the laymen are allowed to know and what the legalese aspects are. So these are bankers' wars all over again, going to biblical prophecy, which is a one world government. People are worshiping the beast. They do worship Satan. There is a part of them that they don't even realize that they worship the devil or Satan. And those also implications will begin to come out more and more and more as we move forward, into the future. So to me, I mean, this is a spiritual war and leading into a physical war that we have in many ways. So what I see is that these wars are to grow Israel the way that they wanted to take over, all those regions, and then be backed by, the Swiss banks, the Jews, the Zionists, leading into Catholicism, and then the United Nations with the backing of the military of the United States industrial, the military complex, leading to world totalitarianism, if we're not careful, to where borders of nationality will be stripped. They will create their own status for you. If we keep sitting there thinking that we can trust these people, it won't be long before those that don't believe in the system are rounded up and put in the fucking, genocided. And then the ones that obey, they will be those essential, non-deplorables. The essential workers, the mindless servants of a hive mind system, of the collective consciousness of A1, B system, fucking Antichrist one, system, B system, going along. Eventually you won't believe in the same things of these traditional values that...
There's something going on, because especially with, the platform ad, Elon Musk and stuff. For a while there, he was coming off as a rebel and also being threatened in many different ways. Well, just recently, and I've noticed his demeanor has changed big time, and I think he's scared shitless. And he just had an interview one-on-one in front of a bunch of people on stage with Ben Shapiro about the Jewish people for some odd reason. You know what I mean? And how Elon walked in there and he was talking all kinds of niceness and I got Jewish friends. I should be Jewish too, you know, kind of thing. I feel like something was being held differently. I think he was being held at his own will to have that interview. Because prior to the issue, he was being, like I said, being threatened from different areas because of the information that was being exposed on X about the whole genocide that's going on in Israel and over in Gaza, you know. And he was a big advocate in the moment of time of, like, you know.
They're trying to go after free speech. And saying
so
that
what I'm thinking is that he got a hard fucking visit from somebody or whatever that said, I will tear down your fucking empire that you're building right now, and I will fucking slander you in many different ways, or they got fucking dirt on him from a long time ago that they're willing to use against him like they do with everybody else.
I'm going to tell you what it is, all right? And this is the truth. And I don't give a shit who the fuck you are or how you want to believe it, okay? The moment that you cross a certain tax bracket, you fucking get asked, do you want to join the elite Bilderberg 1% club of the world, okay? The so-called Illuminati, or are you going to be an outsider, okay? And we've talked about this 1,000 times. When you invent something that's bigger than yourself.
Mark Zuckerberg. It reminds me of Mark Zuckerberg. To take off his jacket.
So, hold on. There's a couple of variables I want to touch point on, okay? It's this, all right? So, Elon Musk could be no different than the Jesuits, okay? All right, so even if you don't work for the Jesuits, there's a Jesuit oath of where you play both sides. You believe in everything your enemy does, but you go with the opposite. And then they believe everything that you do, but they speak on an adversarial point of view to keep everybody divided based off the specific topic that is being enunciated all over the news, the propaganda, whatever. Because you would never know about it if you didn't hear about it. I mean, look, he created Twitter, which is going after free speech, and lets you know that there's a war on free speech. Well, they just had a hearing that, you know, everybody is speaking up against Hamas, the terrorist organizations basically is what the Zionists are implicated as, because they are the ones that are the most advocate of going to war against the Palestinians. But, you know, the Palestinians ain't even recognized under the United Nations. They were there first. It was Palestinia. And there is actually no one's, you know, basically what I'm trying to say is that if you're pro Palestine, then you're an anti-Semite. Okay? So if you talk about, you know, the atrocities happening, okay? So, but hold on now. There's a point here that I'm trying to make. Elon Musk, all right, Kenny, Mothman, whatever you want to call him, you know, he is, he believes that Elon Musk is the government, working right side by side with them, but yet is playing against the government, okay? Who makes money? Who's the one who makes the money? Who makes the money? It's not about whether you go to work and make the money. Who creates the money, okay? So let's say I'm an elitist. I'm a 1%er, okay? I'm a fucking billionaire, a gazillionaire, okay? Am I not dealing with money? Is that not dealing with money as well as asset and material, intellectual property and all this stuff? And the only way that I can liquidate my collateral, which is my company, so I know that Elon Musk is working with trusts. He's not a fucking idiot. He knows exactly how these bankers are working. Just like Trump does. Just like any, if you're going to be a real activist, you're going to burn your money in front of fucking the entire world. This does not have value, but the value that you put on it by belief. This is it. And I no longer want to use their money because that's a contract between me and my assets and my freedom. Because everything I buy with this money has a sense of a patent ownership between me and the thing that I bought. That's why you're all paying taxes. Because of this money. So does Elon Musk use a special money that we're all unaware of besides the digital currency of Bitcoin or whatever? Does he use American dollars? Does Trump use American dollars? What dollars are being used to fund these wars? This is where you're going to get to the real fucking answers of what's going on behind the scenes. Okay? So none of these people are for you if they live their life based off the same money that it takes to fund these wars, to enslave the people on a fucking hourly wage. Yeah, I ain't kidding. You gotta go to work in Uber or Uber Eats. Your ass is out there delivering fucking food for what? For money. If you didn't need that money, would you be doing it? No. So really you don't need the money. You need the money to get to what it is that you need to survive. Imagine if that money was backed up by gold and silver or something backed by the people, not these governments, not these bankers, not these corporations, not people that this money can control. Because if you ain't gonna fucking be a part of their little 1% fucking system, then you ain't using their money. You're not one of them. That's how I look at Elon Musk. That's how I look at any one of these motherfucking top players of the world, major influencers. At the end of the day, we need to create our own money, but if you do that, your ass is going to be fucking killed. And I'm done ranting now. Tell me I'm wrong.
So anyways, the meteor has changed, and I can see it. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of people can see it. You know what I mean? Like, he definitely had that fucking one-on-one conversation that really fucking probably sent fear into him. His fortune is based on his shareholders, so what people have, stakes in the company itself. And, granted, I get what you're saying. He's a 1%, he's a leader, he gets invited to these certain parties and stuff like that. He has these conversations with these individuals that know more than what, society knows and what's going to be coming up ahead. And, but, that's him. I mean, you can speculate in many different ways of what's going on and stuff, but for a while there, he was definitely showing that he was a person for, the rights of the people, you know what I mean? And then when Israel started attacking Gaza and the whole situation, he made comments that really did fucking send shockwaves, and it made him look like an anti-Semitic. They instantly started attacking him over the fucking comment he made on X. And for a while there, he was under scrutiny, and then he told fucking Bob, the CEO of Disney, to go fuck himself on national television because, he was bribing him that he needed to delete certain things on X, and if he doesn't, then he's going to pull all of his advertisement off the fucking next platform and send X into downward spiral of almost bankruptcy. And
what are they going after Twitter X?
Yeah, it's been a month since that happened, and then ever since that happened, dude, I've noticed that he doesn't look happy. Elon doesn't look happy, but he's trying to put on a fake fucking face right now. And with the interview that he had recently with Ben Shapiro and stuff, go look it up. You can tell his demeanor has changed. Even when he's trying to sound positive about the Jews over in Israel and stuff like that, and how he supports whatever is going on with them, and how we need to bring back these hostages from, Hamas and da-da-da-da. It didn't seem like he was very thrilled to say the thing. He was just basically pulling the shit out of his ass to be able to leave. Like I said, Ben Shapiro, everybody's speculating too. He's also an asset for the Mossad. You know what I mean? Comes over here and influences the people through the media and, yada, yada, yada. But it's pure speculation. And there's something big definitely brewing, and we're right there, I think, when the hammer's gonna come down.
I mean,
hopefully I'm wrong. I'm hoping. I can't deal with another fucking economic fucking situation, and nobody can, man.
That's what everybody's saying.
If we have an economic situation, dude, you better believe there's going to be a mass looting going on. People grabbing whatever the fuck they want to be able to survive. You know, it's going to be a hard one to recover.
Yeah, you know what? We are moving into that time. I mean, at least I'm in Florida, but I'm in northern Florida, so I got the wilderness. But people will leave the cities and come out here. There's so many fucking people.
No, but the thing is, though, it's like I thought about it that way for the longest time too. But my cousin Brandon, man, which is a big time hardcore fucking political person and stuff, he said it doesn't matter. If anything, if you're out in the country, man, you're sitting duck. All right, you have no neighbors, you have nobody, no allies, no. And then all it takes is a brigade of fucking people to come and ambush your fucking house. That's it. It's over. You know.
I already said the same exact thing, but
in a city like in the city that I am, in a nice neighborhood, if you're good with your neighbors all around you, there might be a chance of some kind of alliance being formed.
Around here, there's fish, deer, there's life that you could live off the land. Everyone around here has a fucking gun.
You know, remember, we got the Everglades, man.
I definitely see. Yeah, I'd rather be out here in the swamp than the Everglades. But people...
Absolutely, any day, man. England, you know.
You guys can keep the Everglades.
It is what it is, so
but
it is what it is.
Like my neighbor next door, we may sometimes butt heads, but I know he's got my back.
It's no different up where you are, man.
Sitting duck, let me tell you.
Pythons, you got alligators. Man.
I could survive out here. I just saw a wild turtle. See, I wouldn't really fuck with my wildlife like that. I'd take as I needed. I would live, you know.
Right. You do fish and chicken, or hunt for eggs, or easy game. You know what I mean? Not large game.
Take another situation too. How many city folks shoot guns every day? Not really many. A lot of them don't even own guns. They don't even think about that. They live in the city.
That's not true, man. Not here in Miami. Not here. This is a big Latin culture, bro, down here. And a lot of these people come from communism. All right? So they always prepare for the worst.
Well, I've been saying it for a long time, and I'll say it again. Become one of the people. Become a national to your state. Get involved in local politics. Let them know that your voice is here and that we're not going to be pushed around and that really the laws that are implicated on the American people, if they're unconstitutional, they do not stand. And we need to take back our freedoms, starting with our family, leading into the school system, then the community. And actually having a local, how do I word it? It's like a ripple effect, where you drop a stone into a lake and it starts all these little ripples and little waves. Well, that's what we need to start seeing is these. And it's happening in the collective. I mean, there's a lot of people that are upset because of certain activists at the time, but then they reevaluate what's going on and then they're like, yeah, we live in America. There's no nation like this. And there really is no country like America. This whole democracy shit needs to go. We need to get rid of the fucking democratic bullshit. This whole entire mob rule, 60-40, you decide my freedom by a vote? Go fuck yourself. So we're so free we get to vote away our own freedom? Sounds perfect. Sounds like a mind game to me. Okay? You're free, I'm free. You know what? Freedom is dangerous. But that's what makes it so eloquent. Is that you're free. And under a responsible free society, we can, under the rule of law, coexist in harmony. All right? And, it is dangerous, but there's also consequence. See, in the military, one person messes up, everyone's punished. In a free society, one person messes up, and one person's punished. It's called individual rights.
Wow. If only if it was that simple, man.
It is that simple. It is that simple.
It is simple, but it isn't that simple,
It is that
It's already
simple.
been built. It's already been laid out in front of us. So one way or another, chaos has to happen in order to put in the right situation. You know?
I mean, I didn't deny chaos. Why? Who creates the chaos then?
The individual, whoever, it doesn't matter. It's the collective.
Chaos is formed by a neglected, sick society that doesn't know it's sick. Okay? You got children being raised by the state while their parents work every day thinking that the only thing that matters is that paycheck and that falsified identity. And it went from 40 hours a week to fucking 60. Okay? Families, even if you live at home, are you really actually united? Okay? You got kids fucking being raised in this world by video games and stuff, and they can sit there and say, oh, well, it's not movies and video games that's causing this. You know, it's people themselves. But, you know, one day I was walking down the road and I'm listening to this music and I was like, you know, back in my day when I was listening to Nirvana and Soundgarden and Rage Against the Machine and stuff like that, that was a reflection of my time, my culture. And then next you know, this hip-hop stuff was invented. And at first it was satire. And it was a joke, and, you know, talking about bitches and fucking drugs and all this stuff. That was funny, and it was a way to be able to express the dark side. Well, that dark side is now taking legs and shape and form, and kids believe, and just like Tupac said, they're trying to create the war. They're creating the problem. They're creating the idea of this East Coast, West Coast, blood versus Crip reality that then created the gang environment that we see today that wasn't, you know, just like the biker gang, it was for brotherhood, and just like the mafia was to govern the people and make sure that we governed ourselves and kept out, you know, capitalism in the form of Marxism, which is where the state is owning all the proceeds and everything and then taxing everything and then controlling all the prices so that, you know, we had a system that was creating a impoverished society. So what did they do? They went and stole all the tobacco trucks and stole their fucking liquor trucks and then sold it back to the people and then kept the proceeds for themselves. So there was forcing...
Wow, there's some dirty stuff going on.
So, then...
Just recently, I was, like, watching some of these old fucking black and white films of, like, these Nazi parties that were happening here in fucking New York back in the First World War.
I agree. Well, America's so free that we allow you to have a socialist party, a Nazi party if you want. You have a right to be those things. That's what freedom is. But the only thing that gives that freedom...
Huge, bro. That was at Madison Square Garden, bro. I was like, what the fuck? It just lined up with everything that we've learned back in, you know, early fucking 2012 or leading up until now. The shit that I had brought to the fucking dinner table with my, you know, wife's parents and stuff like that, or even having an argument over the phone with my dad and got him all upset and shit. Like, he didn't believe me because, you know, the information that he absorbed from watching the History Channel back in the day. I told him, I was like, look, Hitler was working side by side with the fucking... the Roman fucking authority, man.
No, I know. I got a couple of books.
The Zionists, and then they transformed to become Zionists later on.
I got a book called The Unholy Trinity. I got the Project Paperclip, and I also have Vatican and World Politics and how they were involved with World War II, World War I. Hitler, I don't even believe he actually killed himself. I think they got rid of his body. He flew to Argentina and lived out his days there with the rest of the Nazis.
Yeah, no, there was a guy as an influence that actually flew to that specific area, and sure enough, that whole fucking area in Argentina is Dutch influence. Like, they have, you can see it in the architecture, the paintings, the food that's there and stuff. So somebody from Germany fucking brought their influence all the way over to South America
You're absolutely right, brother. You're absolutely right. Right on the money.
And they went to the concentration camp where supposedly, well, not the concentration, the barracks where supposedly Hitler was, spent his last days. And it looked like a compound, bro. Like literally, big log cabin homes, multiple homes, all on this little property with special barbed wire on the outside, and they like tunnels that led underneath the ground to be able to escape if you need to.
You ever heard of that channel, Mind Unveiled?
Yeah, I saw that guy. I sent you something not recently about it. There was one day you would be picking all the shit that we depicted in a nice clean form, and dude, it was right on the money how they count the things.
The guy from Mind Unveiled covers the same stuff, and so does Kamiria Ahua. His YouTube channel covers the same exact stuff. Sephardic Jews, the Phoenicians and where they come from, and then how their families turned into crests and nations, and then going into the Dutch, their origins, and how they basically are implicated through all the symbology around the world, their crest of arms, their
right.
symbology.
They're setting the stage. And how I know they're setting the stage on this thing, instead of letting prophecy fulfill itself on its own, they're doing it. They're pushing for prophecy to fulfill itself. You know what I mean? Like, for instance, Barack Obama, okay? And they even said in the coming times of, Lucifer or Satan, that he'd fall from the sky like lightning. And, the key word in Hebrew in lightning is Barak, okay? And in Hebrew, there's these suffixes of either an O or a U between words, and everything is read backwards. So then, it also said, too, he will be in the most high of the hills. And then you look up the most high in Hebrew, it comes up as Bama. Bama. Okay? Remember what I said about the suffixes, about U and O. Now you add that between those two words, Barak and Obama, what do you get? Obama. And I even said it, that this person that falls from the sky, he will not have interest towards women and all this fucking shit. And I think it's in, let me look it up real quick. Neither shall he regard God as his father, nor desire of woman, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all. Now remember Obama in his opening speech when he became president. What verse in the Bible did he read?
Well, there was a couple of things that he did, but I don't remember the verse that he used. What did he use?
It was Psalms 46.
Psalms
46.
46.
Mm-hmm.
Let's look this up.
Be filled and know that I am God,
God is our refuge and strength, the very present help.
Encryption of Shakespeare.
Therefore will thou not we fear, through the earth be removed, though the earth be removed, and though the mountains be carried into the midst of the sea, though the waters thereof roar and be troubled, though the mountains shake with the swelling thereof. Salah. Okay, so there is a river, the streams whereof shall make glad the city of God, the holy place of the tabernacles of the Most High. God is in the midst of her. She shall not be moved. God shall help her. And that right early the heathen raged, the kingdoms were moved. He uttered his voice, the earth melted, The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Come, behold the works of the Lord, what desolations he hath made in the earth. He maketh wars to cease unto the end of the earth. He breaketh the bow, and cutteth the spear in sunder, and he burneth the chariot and the fire. Be still, and know that I am God. Yep. I will be exalted among the heathen. I will be exalted in the earth. The Lord of hosts is with us. The God of Jacob is our refuge. Selah. Say that again?
Who? I said, who did God exalt for the earth?
Jesus. Exalted.
He gave him power over the earth.
He gave Jesus.
To rule over the earth?
Oh, you mean Satan is the God of this world. The ruler of this world.
Now remember, we're talking about the Antichrist supposedly coming about, right? Well, remember what I was telling you about Shakespeare and how I think the Antichrist means somebody that is not real, somebody that's fictitious.
Well, right? The fact that people
conspiracy that Shakespeare was a fraud, and in Psalm 46, remember what I said? If you count 46 words in from the beginning, you land on shake, and if you go all the way to the end of that chapter and you count 46 words backwards, you land on spare.
Okay. Yep. I see what you're saying. Yep. Okay. So
now I'm talking about Daniel 11, verse 37. Now, and it talks about, the coming of this evil person. Neither shall he regard God of his father, nor desire of woman, nor regard any God, or any shall magnify himself above all. And then also in Luke, and it says Luke 10:18, and he said unto them, I beheld Satan as lightning fall from heaven. All right. Lightning fallen in Hebrew, like it says, it comes out as barak.
Yep.
And if he holds himself above that, of the Most High in Hebrew is Baba in Hebrew. So Barack Obama, because the O, like I said, is a suffix between words in Hebrew. Barack Obama. But if his name is not real, so therefore it's just like Shakespeare. He is a fictitious person. So therefore it comes back to my theory, my thesis, that the Antichrist is somebody that is not of his name. He's somebody that would put together a straw man,
Which Barack Obama, because his real name is Barry Soetoro.
That seems like they're making prophecies come true.
Yep.
They're setting the stage. This is Operation Revelation.
Yeah, because his real name is Barry Soetoro. That's an invented name. Barack Hussein Obama.
Correct. Why? Because he's a Hebrew fucking asset. He's a fucking Zionist asset. And I think, like we talked about...
Dude, they say the Antichrist will be born in the Middle East. He was born in the Middle East. He comes from, where was it?
Yekna, or something like that.
Kenya. Yep.
Right.
Groomed by Catholics, Jesuit. His vice president was a Jesuit, which is what Biden. Yeah. Biden's a Jesuit and a Zionist. But they changed that on Wikipedia. They don't say that anymore.
What's fucked up and weird is because this newbie that just came about, fucking Ron Squeeze, or whatever his name, David, he's using the same fucking speech that fucking Obama used.
Well, I heard that he was a copycat of a European politician, Obama, using all the same messages, the same everything.
Shit. Yep. Right. And now this David person's doing the same thing, and he's an Indian version of Obama. You know what I mean? But with more of a louder, fucking energetic voice.
Who's that 38 or 36-year-old guy that's up there running right now?
Yeah, the youngest one.
Yeah, it's like Ramada or Rahama or something like that.
Ramovsky or something like that.
We'll call him Ramada Inn. Because everybody who owns a Ramada Inn. Yeah.
That's what it reminds me of too, man. The Hooker Hotel.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I mean, I think it goes right back to what you were saying back in the early times when we were talking about all this shit prior to this moment of time, man. I think we're under one big roof. I think the stage has been set. I think there is no two parties. I think they're all collaborating with each other. I think they're all creating hoax and creating all these scenarios for media coverage.
I think they really fucking are, bro. They've been doing this the whole fucking time. I used to think it was, dude, it really happened during 9/11. That's when it happened. 9/11, fucking incredible hostile takeover, a hostile hijacking of the American government. Trump, I want to say that he's a real president, but no, dude, there's too much, man, that gives it away. He's working with them, dude. He is.
He's an asset, man. That's why he can say whatever the fuck he wants, man. You know what I mean? He doesn't have any prepared speech. Now he does, you know, but he just fucking regurgitates the same shit over and over again now.
He's speaking to the hearts of Americans, one, like me, and two, anybody that has been around people like me, and then begins to see, you know, him, because all this information, this so-called conspiracy theory information, has been going around so long that it's caused a division between the propaganda information, the propaganda that has been fed to the American people for so long, and then finding out all these scandals and all this stuff. They got to find a way to cover this stuff up, and what better yet, to have a president that is speaking all this stuff as though it's true, but yet is now being called MAGA supporters, the MAGA Republicans. They're not even like Americans anymore. They're MAGA Republicans. Well, we'll just call you liberal, left, psychotic, fucking delusional, you know, socialist, Marxist pieces of shit of America. No, you can't do that. That's a hate crime. But we're going to call you a MAGA Republican. Well, then what is the other Republicans then? Ones who don't believe in fucking Trump? So now you have identity politics, okay? And anybody that believes in WikiLeaks, Julian Assange, the Fast and Furious scandals, Epstein Island and all the shit that was going on, the Pizzagate, politician fucking pedogate shit, the satanic fucking rituals and having people dress up as, you know, dark fucking occultic, sick, satanic fucking images and having these sick parties all over, you know, thinking American people are so fucking stupid, which they are, you know. I wouldn't say they're stupid, but, you know, they are iniquitous, you know. And what I mean by iniquitous, what's that?
Naive.
So they have these no, naive is innocent. Okay, stupid is when you fucking know, but you don't care. Well, that's what the Bible says about people that live in sin, and they know that they're sinning, but they don't care that they're sinning. That's iniquity. Okay, so iniquitous. It's where you know. Naive is where you don't know. Okay? You don't know you're living in sin, and then you realize it, and you turn back. That's where I'm at in my life.
I think there's a mix of that.
What's that?
I think there's a mix of both.
There is definitely a nice little mixture. There is a mixture going on here. A little soup being made of the wolves and the lamb. A wolf would be one that is ravishing. He knows he's going to kill you, but he doesn't care, because that's what wolves do. Scorpions, snakes, and fucking den of vipers, you know?
That's like the people that are supporting this genocide going on. You know what I mean?
Yes, exactly. They know what they're doing.
They see that this is great, this is awesome. We're gonna come into some new assets like oil and all this other stuff, and this is gonna make our economy great again. Blah blah blah.
Here's the truth of it. I'm going to tell you what the real truth is.
What's really fucking weird too, I mean, like, you know this lady that works for CDC, you know, her daughter goes to the same classroom as my daughter does in preschool. Anyway, she's a military asset for the CDC. She goes around to certain areas in the country, and like right now she's stationed in Wyoming, and she is observing the natives right now because of, you know, diseases or whatever. I was like thinking to myself, like, okay, so why is CDC observing the natives right now? Why in those particular states?
Say that again? There's something wrong with your microphone. I don't know if it's my phone or what, but it's kind of breaking up a little bit.
What did you pick up? What did you pick up?
I heard that from your girl that goes to school with you, or your daughter. You pick up your daughter, she's got a kid in school, started talking about these specific states and the CDC. Right. That's all I heard.
The lady that we know, right, the lady that we know, she works for CDC, all right? She's part of the military branch that works for the CDC. When she dresses up like if she's going on a Navy ship, but she's not. It's actually, it looks like UN colors. So anyway, we asked her on Friday night when we had movie night at the school with my daughter, what do you do for work? Like, what is your specialty? You know, in the military. She's like, oh, I work for the CDC, and right now I'm, you know, stationed over in Wyoming, and we're doing case studies on the Native Americans.
What the fuck?
And I was like, what? My wife didn't question it. I questioned it when my wife told me that's what she does for a living. I was like, what? So she's active duty right now. She's going out next week to go to this place in Wyoming to do a study on the Native Americans that are going on right now over there because of, you know, CDC. There's only one reason why they're doing a study on that shit, you know, because of disease, you know, whatever the case might be.
You didn't ask any details?
It raised red flags to me, you know what I mean? Like, okay, what's going on? Are they going after the natives now in this country? Are they trying to do something to the natives because it's main land and, you know, assets of the land because of all the oil? Because remember, look at the situation that happened with, like, the whole Dakota pipeline thing that was supposed to be built. You know what I mean?
What did she didn't elaborate? You didn't ask other questions? Like, wow, that's really interesting. What's
My wife didn't ask any more questions on that. She just asked the basic questions, and my wife, you know, reported it to me. You know. So, I don't know. It's all speculation again. But this is something to
let's look this up. Hold on.
Look into
let's
later
look
on.
this up.
Maybe see what's going on. Like,
we're gonna look this up right now. CDC in Wyoming.
Or they put in CDC doing research on Native Americans in this country. And if there's any case studies going on right now. The Native Americans are not stupid people, man. They know when they smell a wolf, they will sound alarms. But there are the minority, you know, Native Americans too that are trying to be Americanized and stuff, that are being indoctrinated.
Adult health status among Native American families participating in the growing resilience home garden study. So this is CDC preventing chronic disease. Okay, so it says the survivors of the historical trauma of the North Arapaho and so Arapaho, yep, and Eastern Shoshone tribes sharing the Wind River Indian Reservation in Wyoming have significant health disparities, but very little data on this population have been published. So, really I'd like to know and give them a call and just kind of figure out what they're really trying to collectively figure out,
So, we're going to get the amount of information. So. But, it's something to keep your mind open to, because if something starts, buzzing through the media about Native Americans getting sick, or large numbers of them are fucking dying off, like some of the tribes are here, and I know in Miami, the Miccosukes, man, they are dealing with fucking death situations, and it's always some kind of cancer disease or something that's happening.
Yeah.
It might be genetics because, Native Americans, they always like to keep within tribes. But I don't believe that to be still going on to this moment in time, because the Native Americans were the first ones to realize that they cannot mate with their own tribe members after a while, because they started having children that were useless to them. And it weakened their tribe. So that's why they started branching out to other tribe members and stuff like that, and mating with other tribe members so they can make their shit fucking stronger. And have, superb children.
You might want to join your tribe, seeing how you are a part of the tribe. They need people. They said that. Yeah, the Abenaki dude.
I don't know. I know Abenaki is having a lot of big cases too. Like they're shining upon certain people trying to join the tribe or whatever, and then they're also dealing with a lot of fakes, claiming themselves to be tribe members and stuff. But, I mean, I have DNA results saying that I have that, 1% in me, but I don't know how that 1% is gonna be proficient enough.
That's what you tell yourself. You could at least try it out.
True that there was an Abenaki, a female Abenaki person in her bloodline.
You could at least try it out, Jeremy.
Yeah. When are you going to do the DNA test, man? I would like to know what you're all about. What kind of mutt you are.
I tell you, I got that girl, Rachel, who I had to kind of push away because, I don't feel it now, but I had some strange feelings about her, and she was trying to be my girlfriend. And so I accepted it, but then I felt, that she has ulterior motives and is not really being forthright to me. Plus, I'd rather be friends with somebody before just moving into the idea of a relationship. She started asking me questions like she wanted to ride. Yeah, she wanted to me to pick her up at 4 o'clock in the morning and bring her to work, and then bring her back home from work. And I'm like, what? Like right away? And I'm thinking to myself, I just started talking to this girl for just a few days. I did go out of my way. I got her a burrito, okay? And it was it's just a burrito, but, here I am buying her a meal, okay? Next, I'm giving her a bag of weed because she wanted to buy a weed off me, but then, I don't have the funds mysteriously in my bank account. I was like, you know what? Just take the weed. She tried to give me $10. I gave her $10 back. I said, it's no big deal. And then, she wanted to ride around with me, so we did, and then all of a sudden, it was just moving way too fast, and it seemed like, you know how women are, they think, oh, well, I'm your girl, and so I didn't even have sex with her, didn't even have a blowjob, nothing from her whatsoever, nothing. Literally nothing. And was already trying to treat this as like somehow, she's showing me areas. How does it make you feel? Yeah, women. Like, it's uncomfortable, dude. It's uncomfortable, and the idea that somehow them being in your presence somehow, must cost you something, something, whether it be energy, a sexual exchange, something that then leads into like an obligation, an obligated feeling of having them in your life. Like, I don't know, it's really strange, bro. I can't explain.
This is an unsophisticated fucking woman, man.
What's
Not
that?
all women are like that, man.
I didn't say they're all like that. I'm saying this specific archetype. Yeah, I don't even know what that is.
Or whatever, this, like you said, she's got a motive.
That's how it was.
She's got around you long enough to be able to steal some DNA from you.
Well, she's got a son. If I do have a son with her, which she's heavily convinced, I mean, then it's the next step of like, well, what does the kid really want? And what do I really want at the end of the day? I mean, this kid's 15, has gone his whole life never meeting me. What's it matter within that amount of time being gone, and only 3 years till he's 18 years old? And all I wanted to do was...
I didn't know my until I was 9 years old, man, but no matter what, even 9 years went by and I didn't know because we get it or whatever, it didn't matter, man. I felt like I had more of a connection to him than I did with my mom that I was with for that 9 years and ongoing, But the only reason why is because DNA doesn't lie, dude. If he's just done, man, the personalities will meet up.
Well, I talked to Chimera yesterday, and she basically said, I was like, would you say he's a lot like me or whatever? And she's like, oh, absolutely. I'm like, really? Like, holy shit. And Chimera, she would know, really, she would know, She's my daughter, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
Well, do what you feel is best, man.
Just because you feel...
his age and stuff, then you don't need to step in.
I mean, dude,
But I wouldn't jump the gun until you actually have physical fucking proof that he is, you know what I mean?
That's what I told her, And she saw it in my face, like, at first she was upset that I didn't believe that it was my kid, but, I started to empathize with her and be like, I understand where you're at, but, how do I really know? And she's like, you know what? I see what you're saying now. Like, wow. Because she was upset and offended that she felt like I was denying it in complete denial. I was like, no, dude. You may know inside your heart,
well, they always said, I mean, he might have some features or whatever of you or whatever, but no matter what, the boy always has more of the mom's features, and the father always has more of the daughter's features. And the reason for that is because it's a primal thing from a long time ago that the father would not, harm their child if their child looks like that or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, but then the father was more compassionate when they saw that their child was a mirror image of themselves.
Well, that's probably why my dad likes Lon, is because Lon really does kind of look like my dad, and I look like more like my mom.
You look like him.
Yeah.
And then your daughter looks a lot like you. And my daughter looks a lot like me, too.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
My brother looks like my mom. Like, big time. If you were to put them together then, you'd be like, holy shit. You got Madonna 1 and Madonna 2. Pre-Madonna.
Prima donnas, that's hilarious. That's a riot. I don't know. I'm just gonna let things unfold. It's not like I'm trying to fucking jump the gun or run to the finish line of this situation. I feel like I definitely, not gonna lie, dodged a bullet. You know, I'm all set with. I mean, she was asking me if I found a pet raccoon.
Do your own, right, but do your own blood test for this, where we can see who you are, not who you're related to. And if she supposedly did her own ancestral stuff or whatever, it'll fucking show up inside yours. That you're
yeah.
Like it did with mine, man. I got a lot of people in the northeast sector around Pennsylvania, Wyoming, all around the Great Lakes area, and into Canada.
Yeah, me too. So we probably related somehow along this strange fucking matrix.
I don't know. Our family members probably rode the same boat over.
Yeah. I don't know. I really feel like we were already here. They're trying to make you displace your history.
Probably sipping from the same fucking cup a long time ago. Making the same fucking potluck soup or whatever we can scavenge up.
It's hard to say who we are. It's all blood. Okay.
So one way to find out, dude, is to have your fucking shit fucking done. I mean, it only goes so far, but it doesn't tell you, like, you know, lineage or anything like that, you know? But it's going to tell you where your ancestors came from, what region. And then if you want to pay a little bit extra, which I would, you know, you might as well. If you're going to pay to have that done, you might as well pay the extra to have your health also assessed. This way you can be well aware that you need to watch out for certain things in your diet or whatever it is that you do.
I agree.
And it's not going to cost you any more than $100. I think I paid like total of $80. You know, I think the ancestral report was $30, and then anything after that was all extra. So it's running about like $8.
I mean, honestly, I'd like to figure it out. I'm actually waiting on other information I haven't even received. I got a lot going on, actually. You know, I really do. Yeah, we're working towards stuff. Right now, I'm, processing. I got my kid down the road. Try to embrace life one day at a time. Filtering through these dark energies. Facing myself. It's getting better every single day. I'm well informed and well aware of where we are, geopolitically, sociologically, as well as also moving forward within current events and stuff. It's kind of like you already know. Now it's just sitting back watching things unfold. There is a level of kind of a disconnect from it because I realize we're alive and we created all this stuff. So there is a significance to it. But then there's also an insignificance to these things too. So it's a balance coming back into being grounded within this realm that we call reality and still realizing that, we're a part of this place and it is all significant in its own way. It really is. I definitely feel guided, protected.
You can choose to have a part in it, and you can also choose to not have a part in it. We see the outcomes of people that choose not to have a part in it. You know what I mean? And people that choose to have a part of it, well, we see their outcome as well, too. You know?
There's a balance. All I can sit there and say is this right here. None of it's really real, but it's real. It's what you make of it to be real, okay? You start taking on a job, next you know the job starts taking on you, okay? And then do you know enough to step away from it if it starts consuming you and you're becoming too much a part of it? To where you think it's fucking real. Politics, all these things. The most important things of our lives.
Can you send me the 9/11 case closed through text messenger again?
Say that again?
Can you send the 9/11 case closed video again? The shit that I cannot find on
Yeah, it's on BitChute. I'll send it to you. I'll send it right now. Let's see if I can pull it up. Yep.
No, I have to show my cousin this shit, man, because there's a big debate that we've been having. They want him to see with his own eyes that the shit was all fucking adding up into this moment of time, and let's see if he can put his own pieces together.
I also did a video that covers this information with it all kind of collaborated together, but at the same time trying to let people make up their own mind, like you be the judge. So, I mean, this shit's pretty deep.
You know what I mean?
Oh, I think they deleted my motherfucking account, you sons of bitches. Alright, let's see this one. Okay, here we go. Perfect. Alright.
How's Kenny doing?
Not good.
Why? What's going on?
His fucking sister died.
Situation that's going on right now.
Yes.
If that's the case, man, they have to be careful where they're poking around, man. You know what I mean?
I feel like I gotta be around them because, I've known them my whole life, basically, so far. And, hold on, I'm copying the video. It's copied. Okay, so here we go.
But you know what I mean? Like, they have to be careful poking around on this situation with probably shit like that. Because you never know. You might be dealing with some kind of big psyop operation going on there, and if they poke around in the wrong area, you know what I mean? They could who can be the next chop on the chopping block is Kenny, you know what I mean? I mean, they'll frame him and make it seem like a suicide or whatever. I hope that's not the case, man. There's definitely something fishy going on inside me. Like I said, man, when I first went up there, what was it, back in 2015, 16 or whatever, I came back and I was like, dude, I was like, what the fuck happened to me? And I felt like I was like Marty McFly going into a fucking wrong parallel universe, and I got all these DAs all fucking around me and fucking busting fucking, meth labs and heroin users and all that shit, and like, oh, fuck.
I know, I went back there, and the Manny that I remember is not really there anymore. I'm sorry, it's just not.
No, that's not there no more. It's a new whole way, and that's where I see it. Maine is the next fucking upcoming state for all metropolitan fucking shit to be moving in. It's gonna be the new hot zone for new investors. And they're trying to weed out all the old people. All the stagnant fucking people doing nothing with it.
Yep, when I think about it.
I I have a strong feeling that's what's coming about, man. I mean, we're already seeing proof from the southern ridge and Maine moving up. Going north and hit central Maine. And
I tell you, a part of me wants to move back there because to preserve what Maine is as we move forward, at least in my time. And then somebody will grab the reins, you know? I mean, I didn't really like any of the old-timers because of how, you know, rigid and almost like you couldn't really change Maine. It was being like these, like a brotherhood. Or
there's a lot of potential, right? There's a lot of potential that can happen in Maine, especially for the sister if you're smart about it, you know what I mean? But if you're looking just to live lonely, man, well, adapting to that situation, well, you're going to adapt to those, you know, those standards of living as well, too. And I've seen it with my own family, my own dad and stepmom, you know, from them moving out of Rhode Island and moving into Maine and living there for so long, well, they became Mainers, bro. They sure became fucking Mainers, man. And not the good kind. You know?
Nah, those guys up there are really special to me. I really love the Goodwins a lot. His mom is extremely a special woman. His dad will teach you strength and, you know, sometimes you got to be gentle, though, and learn love and compassion. And so, you know, because of his rigidness and his strength and hardness, you know, I've learned the necessity of being soft and compassionate and empathetic. And then, you know, you got Kenny. Kenny doesn't have a brother. He's a fucking only, you know, he's the only boy out of all the daughters. And so, you know, he didn't grow up with a real brother, you know, and then, you know, unfortunately, you know, they got into drugs, but does that make them terrible people? And so, you know, there's this stigma behind people's choices that somehow make them a bad person when they're not. They just made bad choices. That's it. And, you know,
until they start manipulating people at their own fucking, you know, ungood will, you know what I mean, and torturing people or killing people or whatever the case may be, they're innocent people. They're just getting themselves wrapped up into something that they cannot control.
I see people on the level of turning around, and that's when they feel like they've crossed the line that they can't, it's hard for them to forgive their self. You understand? And this is where they need forgiveness even more. So, you know, I judge those that are manipulative. They're scary. It gets scary. You know? You can't tell me it's not scary once you realize, oh, this is happening. Holy shit. And then your first instinct is, you're a fucking piece of shit. You know? Like, right away. You're like, fuck you, you know? And then you want to, you know, but, you know, this is where Jesus says to love your enemy. And to really try to find that inside yourself of loving that person, you know? And they'll leave you alone. They'll change. They'll fucking have a change of heart. They'll realize if he could forgive me, then I could forgive myself. And then you're forgiven.
That's not always the case. No.
You helped me love my dad just by having this conversation. So God fucking bless you, Jeremy. Thank you so much. And you're right. I understand. You're manipulating people for certain kind of gains, you know? But there's a level of where you go down this road and you're like, what have I done to myself? And you're like that dark being in the corner. Don't look at me. What have I done? You know?
That's why they call it the conjuring. You're conjuring up something.
So I'd rather, like, I had another show called The Conjuring. I had The Conjuring, I had the Immolated Cullings. Everything you're saying is totally fucking subliminal sanity all fucking day long, okay? What the fuck? It's an echo loop. But you're helping me realize, like, you know, I need to forgive myself for what is inside me is also outside of me, you know? These governments are trying to take over people. We, you know, I've been upset. Now I'm going in and I'm fucking forgiving these people as myself. What can I do? They're me. I'm them. You know? It's survival, bro. Fear. The idea of power. The idea of, you know.
Yep. It's all a mechanism of the human mind, the human condition.
How do I feel about those that manipulate me? You know, a disbelief. I can't believe you did this to me. Why would you do this? You know? So thank you for this feeling. Thank you. Leaves you guessing and in wonder. And you know what? They probably wonder the same fucking thing. Why am I doing this? Well, you know, once you start doing it, you get carried away. You know? You don't think that weighs on people?
You think you're just having a moment and you're going to be able to put this down, but then later on you realize, holy fuck, it's been 5 years and I was supposed to put this down within the first fucking 30 days. What's going on here? I'm stuck. I'm a fucking addicted. Yeah, I know, man. It's a vicious fucking thing, man.
Yeah, you're helping me, really, by pointing it out. Because, you know, I have people in my mind that I believe took advantage of me and manipulated me and stuff. And, you know, at the end of the day, I mean, we sign a contract spiritually by being friends with people. There's a contract between Seneca and Jeremy, okay? And we've been friends this long. And what are we going to do with this friendship? Because really, it's each other. And you know, I need to forgive myself for making myself feel less fortunate than others. Or that I need help here. Or this was an unfair situation or advantage. I gave my time. The more that I got smarter, guess what happened? They had to abort ship. Because they knew that I was on to them. So it's time to go. And they needed to do this, and they had the business. I didn't have the business. They had the business. And I chose to... You know, I start a business tomorrow that requires employees. They get on, they believe in it, they help me get rich. Whose fucking fault is that? That's not their fault. That's my fault. And I'm upset because I helped them become successful. How does that make sense? Then I wanted them to help me, and then they didn't want to help me. So who's the help? I'm the help. Where's the other help? There was no help. Do I get mad at them? Or am I mad at me? I'm mad at me. I'm mad at myself. Forgive me, Seneca, for being mad at you.
It's like a McDonald's worker. A McDonald's worker gets pissed off at their boss because they make, what, $12.50 an hour? And they're expecting more? They're working at McDonald's.
One day I was washing dishes, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Go fucking go learn a trade. Go fucking somewhere else where they pay more. Don't expect much from this unless you want to put on my fucking uniform. Go right ahead.
I'm right with you, brother. Right fucking with you. You know what? I'm gonna go fucking do that real quick while we're on the phone with each other. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Because I found this killer fucking shell yesterday, and I'm gonna wrap it. Right on the fucking ocean. It's like, it just has a lot of character to it. It's fucking awesome. But you know, you fucking put in the time, you fucking learn a skill of some kind. How is that not money? You know, you still sharpen knives, or are people not calling you that much anymore?
I get a lot of my regulars that I've already been doing that knives for quite a while. I mean, if I put effort into it, I can definitely start raking in some cash with it. You know what I mean? And I think my biggest, customer are females. You know what I mean? I mean, I get some males once in a while that, hey, but nice for me, blah, 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 blah. But a male, you know what I mean? If they took the time, they can fucking learn themselves. You know what I mean? Instead of being a pussy. So I think mainly my target is women. Because women are not so inclined to sharpen their own knives because they're afraid. You know?
I do.
So, that's what it is. I have my equipment. I will always have my equipment, and anytime I hear somebody that has knives or they like to cook or whatever, they go, hey, you need sharpen? Let me know, you know? Not so much I can charge for it, but like $5 a knife. You know, basic knife. Anything bigger than a basic knife, and the price goes up. But usually when people bring me the knife, they bring me 10 or more. You know what I mean? They bring me their whole fucking knife set. You know what I mean? I'm sure you can imagine. You know, it's like $100 a pop. Anywhere between 50 to $100 a pop. Within like 1 hour's worth of time of me sharpening them. I mean, I can stage it in different ways too. Like I can do the basic knife sharpen for like $3, which is just one stone, one grit edge, and then I can stage it up like a 3-stage set to where like, all right, if you want a 2-stage, it's $5. If you want a 3-stage, it's $7. $7. And then, you know, they know they're getting something that's going to be superb and it's going to be ultra fucking sharp shit that, has no drag to it. Everything's sharp for a very long fucking time. They can cut fucking raw fish like it's butter, you know.
You been doing any YouTube videos?
I've been thinking about it lately. Also, you know, the cooking stuff. I would like to do a little bit more, but I'm thinking I'm going to create a different formula to where I'm going to do all the performance. Like, execute my recipe. Don't sit there and talk to the video camera at all. And then once I execute the recipe and I do it at my own discretion, my own pace and stuff, I will cut and clip whatever I need, and then I'll do a commentary to where it's just me and the camera, and I'm talking out my procedure, and I'll do like a flash from me cooking it to me speaking to you. You know what I mean, kind of thing. Where I'm kind of like assessing what I just got done doing. I mean, I did it before where I did the voiceover, but I'm not going to do it the voiceover. I'm going to actually be in the camera talking. But it's not, when I'm talking, I'm not cooking. You know what I mean?
Okay, I see what you're saying. You're going to record everything and then do a voiceover everything.
Exactly. I'm going to record 2 different videos. I'm going to record the cooking first, and then I'm going to record me talking it over afterwards.
What made you want to do that instead of, you know, audio, visual, all at the same time?
Right. I think it will just be a lot easier for me because this way the formula is not so stretched out and I don't have to go in so many different angles or whatever. But I'm also thinking about doing something different, like, you know, go a little crazy with it. And, not do a cooking video, open up a different account and do, I don't know, something artistic, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Something, I don't know if I want to get into doing, like, a form of animation, but live prop animation. Because kids in YouTube, man, are huge. Huge. Alright, and if you've got good content that pleases the kids, man, you got gold. Alright? I see some of these fucking influencers fucking kids, bro. Like, seriously, the girl A for Adley or Nastasia or whatever, and you look at their net worth and you're like, they don't have to go to school. Why are they going to school? Send a tutor home. You know what I mean? To teach them the basics. They're already fucking millionaires. You know what I mean? Like,
that is a possible potential fucking real.
What's that?
That sounds really lucrative and a potential possibility. What have you thought about actually doing? You know, I got an idea.
I don't know.
Do a video walking around with your kid, all visual aid, maybe learning like nature and plants and its name, and then esoteric, certain kind of broken down, simplified meaning and how that's coming back in the world. And then, you know, maybe have
a little History Channel thing where you do that with kids. You know,
yeah, something fucking a 5-minute long video, maybe a 20-minute long video, learning stuff. I mean, kids will watch fucking presents get unwrapped.
I would put the name of the channel would be Truth for the Next Generation.
Generational fruit.
For the next generation. Yeah.
Or generational fruit. You know? Fruit of a generation.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Right now, there's so much on the plate right now. It's like, all right, what's going on with the country and shit? At the same time, I'm like, all right, you know, don't pay attention to the shit. What if nothing happens? And then you're sitting here on fucking standby waiting for something to happen. You know what I mean? It's like, just go ahead and fucking do it. That's what my mind keeps telling me. Just go ahead and fucking do it. And if all hell breaks out, then at least you tried.
Have you thought about letting her pick the topic?
What is what?
Have you thought about letting her pick the topic? Or what the channel should be?
Like it won't.
Well, she's a kid, so if you have a kid kind of coming up with the ideas, kids...
I don't know yet. I don't know how I want to go about it. Like I said, I want to do something based on the art form. You know what I mean? Like where I design little props or whatever, you know, small little, like, you know, panorama, and I use camera magic to instill it to make it seem like it's got motion. And then, you know what's cool too is that you can use these AI programs to develop this fucking shit and not have to sit there and concentrate on all this stuff. And then AI does a really fucking good job on it. And all you need to do is just making sure that the AI executes exactly what you want and what you're envisioning. And, you know, it's not, it doesn't fall into copyright issues at all because it's open source. And that's why they call it open AI.
But AI also can't be copywritten and made to have like a deep, profitable commercial level towards it because it's AI.
Right.
Right, so maybe you don't want to do that.
Pretty amazing shit coming about, man. Pretty amazing shit coming about, man. And I mean, for content creators, it's awesome because they don't have to sit there and write a script. You know what I mean? Like they just, like I said, put the key basic words in, and then the fucking AI system does beautifully for them. So this way they don't sound like an idiot on video using the wrong terminology and things.
Man, we're moving into an interesting time. I see it now. As long as we truly walk the course, forgive ourselves, accept ourselves for everything, including our ancestors, for all that's been done, we're accepting parts of ourselves. We forgive them. We accept them. We love them. And this is us loving ourselves and coming into a better resonance, correspondence with our existence here. And then having God as our main focal point. And then, you know,
we have that ability at every given moment of time, you know what I mean? It's just we need to fine tune it. We need to hone this idea of a good life into perspective. You know what I mean? It's very hard to hone it into perspective when we got outside sources trying to dictate it, you know what I mean? It forces us to go in different directions.
Yeah, it's whenever we're heading in a more positive direction, they can't control us. And that scares the shit out of them.
Right. No, granted, they'll make their money regardless. on certain things. You know what I mean? They just need to be in tune to what people want. You know what I mean? So if they're in tune to what people want, take note. All right, this is where I can start, capitalizing on.
I think follow what you love.
They don't
dude.
care about the money.
You know, there's a part of me, I love videography, you love videography, there's a lot that you can, I mean, it doesn't just have to be the kitchen, it's just, that's the test kitchen for Jeremy, and then you go into another area, and no matter what you do, you better...
What I think I should come up and visit you again for like a fucking 2-day weekend or whatever, and we sit down and collaborate just a small little fucking 5-minute video of you singing one of your songs, and get some really good fucking footage and piece it all together, and then just call it as like, a project piece. It's kind of, we put our names on it just to show people this is what we can do, I
mean, that is definitely there's a lot of variables there. I have thought about, wanting to do a music video by taking shots, getting me and other things around to kind of put...
You see that thumbnail that I created on your messenger? It says Nightwalker.
Let me see here.
That was mine. That was me in the picture, and I was going on the nightly walk, and it was raining or whatever, and I put the phone down, and I took a nice clip, and I put underneath it said Nightwalker.
Oh, there it is. Nice.
My J-Gerard.
I like that. Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
And what I was thinking, and I still can execute it if I need to, is I'm going to make a stupid fucking video, alright, that keeps people suspended, alright, and it's just me going through a walk through the neighborhood, and then as I'm going down these different streets, I'll put the phone in different areas, like if I'm peeking around the corner and it's like there's some kind of, danger lurking around the corner kind of thing.
Yeah.
And, I'll make it more suspenseful, and then at the end, it'll be me getting home and going, I made it. All right. And that's it. You know what I mean? There's something stupid that keeps people suspended in, and it forces them to watch all the way to the end.
Well, under the right actual circumstances, you can make it like a short Mr. Bean film where you don't even have to say that much. It's all about facial expression.
Right. No, I don't have to say anything.
Right.
All I'm doing is expression, bodily language.
Yep.
And I add the tunes to add the effects of, the eeriness going on.
I agree. Yeah, that'll be sick.
That's it.
Yep.
And people love that shit, man. They're always like mystery, suspense. What could happen next? You know what I mean? Like, and nothing happens. And then it's like, until next time. To be continued. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And then do another fucking thing that keeps them roped in until to be continued,
Dude.
But all it is it's using different camera angles and different
another guy I know
tricks.
is doing something similar called Mr. Obsidian, and he's doing it for educational videos. As he's learned something, and he gives credit where credit's due. If you taught him something or whatever, he will implicate your character into his comic, And it's just a comic. There's no fucking words, like as far as real, it's just pictures and cartoons and fucking, it's pretty good. He does a good job, And it's his creative passion. So I could see you doing the same thing, brother. Truly. Yes. Yes. I can.
But yeah, so the thumbnail I created, it's like kicking the head. I was like, it could be cool. I could just go through a neighborhood walk and on a rainy night, it's all gloom.
I really think if you collaborated with my brother, if he's interested, I mean, I've thought about it too, was making a little cartoon. I think my biggest fear is that if it actually takes off, and it's huge.
You need to create a team, man. Because creating something perfection in videography, man, requires a team to put the whole. I mean, yes, one person can do it, but it takes a long fucking time to perfect something that is perfect. You know what I mean?
I
and
agree.
have the right, feeling to it. It needs to have the feeling, and it needs to grab the audience.
Topic, as well as, content.
I wouldn't mind. Putting together a little fucking, indie film crew, you know what I mean, that was independent, low budget fucking filmmakers. And all we do is collaborate on certain ideas and we put them into perspective. That's it. Doesn't have to be anything crazy, man. All we're doing is creating some fucking pretty cool fucking content for people to see. That's it. Now, we can put our own esoteric fucking hidden language into it if we really want to and put some symbolism in it. If any of our fan base picks up on it as we, film these things. You know what I mean?
I do.
Subliminal messaging.
Yep. I do. I'm making a,
People love that shit, man. You know what I mean?
well,
People love
the ones that are
and all it
aware,
takes is now one good video and it'll fucking set you up for a fucking good future.
the people that are aware, love it. Those that are aware, not aware, it's the other set of, it's the content. It's going to be the storyline. It's not going to be
Right.
the symbolism.
What's the difference between a videographer and a musician when it comes to becoming, wealthy and rich?
Say that again?
What's the difference? I said, what's the difference between a filmmaker and a musician that is well known and popular and makes a lot of money?
Well, one's known and the
Create
other one.
content. They both create beautiful content, all right, that captures the human being. But one doesn't have to regurgitate every fucking time for one tour for all these fucking events to be able to make their money. Whereas the videographer, the filmmaker,
The
makes it one fucking
videographer
time and that's it.
gets to remain almost a mysterious anomaly of his own. He's not actually famous. You understand? Like, I'm trying to think of the guy's name right now because he's one of my favorite, producers and the writer of Breaking Bad. Let's look up his name real quick. He's like, I don't even know, writer of Breaking
Yeah, I
Bad.
would love to create some content, like some really suspenseful
Vince Gilligan.
content at low budget, and then use some of your music as little snippets in between little scenario scenes or whatever, you know what I mean, to kind of get the ultimate feel.
Nobody knows about Vince Gilligan. They know about Walter White. You understand?
Yeah.
So, who's famous? Vince Gilligan or Walter White?
Exactly. Well, who's famous, Jim Carrey or Ace?
Yeah, is it Jim Carrey or all Jim Carrey's characters?
Jim Carrey's already expressed that many times, man. He said that Jim Carrey is a fucking character. You know what I mean? He's a character. And people keep on asking for Ace Ventura, saying, hey, can you play Jim Carrey? No, I play Ace Ventura. You know?
Right.
And that's really fucked with their minds really a lot, man. I understand why a lot of these movie stars or whatever end up becoming mentally ill if they can't handle watching their own content and stuff like that, or just dealing with the paparazzi and shit like that.
Well, also, I
Yeah.
think there's stuff that you contribute to that you don't understand how it affects people later. And while you're in the process of making it, it's different than what impact it has later. And, it does set a stage of who you think you are versus who you are. And we change and evolve all the time, too. And how does these, look how Seinfeld has molded our culture and then going
think about
into...
it, man, it goes right to the core of everything, which is your imagination, man. And if you can influence the imagination, we know what happens after that.
So I need to accept what is bad and stop looking at bad as though it's bad. Because there's a level that we have, like whenever we look at things, and I find definitely deeply in a lot of our conversations, there is like a sense of
I think
urgency.
Here's what I think. Hold on. When it comes to variation, and we've always known this, okay, with vibrational things, everything is in variation, okay? Even bad and good, you know, they all resonate on certain frequencies. So therefore, that's how we always correlate things as a bad situation because it resonates on a very low frequency note. You know what I mean? But really, you are absolutely correct. There are some things that resonate on a very low frequency note, but are also good things. You know what I mean? I mean, like some of the meditation practices that happen in Buddhism, you know what I mean? Singing bowls and stuff like that. You have some really deep, low frequency notes, man, but they consider that as something super fucking cleansing. You know what I mean?
I see.
So, like, in perspective, now, Brent, when it comes to verbal, you know, demographics, you know, and language or whatever, how we project ourselves and talk and communicate with each other, man, a lot of that, you know, resonates. You know what I mean? That's why it's so important to articulate your words in the correct manner, because, you know, it can be taken the wrong way, even though that you were not trying to project it in a negative manner. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And it's so complex, man. It really is.
Well, I see the depth of it now. It's like even my own self, I look at things, and when I, like, you know, am discovering information, I mean, even the way that I was portraying myself probably 20 minutes ago was probably a sense of urgency, or sounds like something that needs to be taken in a sense of an alarming essence, like, you know, this is caution, beware, and it's like, and that's creating that actual energy out in the universe, you know, which is like, you know,
right. The paranoia, the level of paranoia.
It is a sense of paranoia, you know. I would say it's a sense of paranoia, maybe come across as paranoia, but at the time that the person is conveying it, you know, they're feeling and, you know, seeing it in their mind's eye, you know, and it's fucking, you know, I guess this is where, you know, is it fear driven? So if it's fear driven, which, you know, like I said, it's taken as bad, which is also creating it at the same time. You know, it's like, you know, and I think this is where I said, you know, like, they create the topic, they're not doing anything. We're running in our own imagination of what the government's doing and how bad it really is, you know?
All they need to do is plant the seed and everybody else will do the rest.
Spying on the American people, this, that, the other, this situation. You know, I mean, the list can go on at how we perceive, you know, these situations and its detriment. And I also take it as a level of being like, you know, there's a sense of immaturity in this too, because we want to take responsibility, and yet we don't know how, we don't know what to do, so we're uneducated, and the best thing to do is just blame somebody else.
A perfect example of that, a perfect example of that is the Bible. You know what I mean? It can cut in two different directions. You know what I mean? It really is.
Either way,
we know it.
The Bible is quite an amazing entity, because you're first reading it and it's very face value. But then the more that you're reading it, it really does come to life. And there's a level between good and bad right then and there, already kind of pitting somebody against somebody. If you're not carefully reading it and digesting it properly, you know, and it's like Cain and Abel were brothers. And this is what it says. And one killed the other. So you have people that want to gravitate towards Cain, and then you have people that want to gravitate towards Abel. And maybe a lot of people are in denial of Cain, which then brings out the Cain in them. So right away you have a good brother and a bad brother to society. But then as you move forward and you go into, I believe it's Corinthians, It might even be First John, okay, in the back there, right before Revelations. It talks about he who hates his brother, there's no God in him. For, you can't have, hate in your heart and not have God. So, right then and there, it brings reference that these guys are brothers, and it's easy to forget that they're brothers. Okay? And so, if you can't see that correlation, then you might misconstrue that, let's say I'm feeling something negative come after you, or something nefarious. Are you my brother?
And why does it always have to be an opposite pole?
Right away,
why
yes.
Does it always have to be turmoil between each other?
So now there's division right away.
You and your brother.
Yep.
Right, with you and your brother, you guys go through your commotions and stuff. One becomes the Cain, and the other becomes the Abel. But in each other's minds, it's reversed. And
yep.
It's the same thing with me and my brother. But like with my brother, I'm on this high spiritual enlightenment of knowing certain things and stuff, and I try portraying it to him. And what comes out of his mouth is always the opposite. Well, I believe in Satanism.
So.
You know what I mean? Like,
yep.
What the fuck? You know, they're like, you just want to fucking one-up me, huh? You want to be outside the source of everything. You know, like, I know that's not you, motherfucker, so stop portraying yourself to be this person. But whatever, if you consider yourself that, you're digging your own.
Well, what you got to do now is go inside yourself and face all those thoughts and feelings and emotions that you have towards Satanism. Okay? And stop trying to find an adversarial point of view towards it to where...
I don't even look at Satanism as a fucking bad thing. I think it's all a fucking theatrical thing, and whoever fucking is deep into it is got some kind of fucking level of fucking, schizophrenia, fucking psychopath in them,
Those are labels that are put on it in a psychological aspect to find the best way to pronounce things.
You remember this, Satanism was invented. It was invented in the 1800s. No, early 1900s, I would say. That's when it really started taking off.
I understand. I'm sort of saying, like, I think there's different kind of ideological placements that we have between psychology and how this has kind of formulated things in a more softer, logical approach, rather than still looking at deeper connotations towards it that does go back towards, Satan and God and these polaristic energies.
Right. Okay? Like we said before, Satanism is a contradiction to its own self because they don't believe in conformity, but yet you call yourself a fucking Satanist.
Right then and there. Yes, exactly. So, you also have a level of where I was talking to an atheist arguing between the existence of God, putting all this energy into trying to, almost, he said that it boiled back down towards really Satanism, because if you're, we're fighting against Christians and judging them for what they believe in, and at the end of the day, if we don't believe in anything at all, then what does it really matter? What does it really matter? What are we debating? And really, it takes away the premise.
I think really Satanism was an alchemist trick of keeping people away from the real truth of things. Because if you look in Satanism, you'll see a lot of the alchemical symbols all over the fucking place.
Dude, you introduced me to the app. You introduced me to the app, Esoteric Books. Those lost books, okay? Most of those are all satanic manuscripts. They're all Luciferian. So,
Exactly. Including the Bible, the King James was created out of a form of Hermeticism, man. You know what I mean? It really was. I forget what they call it. It begins with a terminology or something like that. But no matter what, the word itself, terminology or whatever.
In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So right then and there, where does word come from? Language, Hermeticism. Right then and there. Yep. It's all alchemy. It's all right there. Okay?
Right there. That's how we created things. That's how we put things in perspective. And that's how we built our fire. our creative understanding of things around us.
Satan lost, God won, and I already know how he won. And he'll always win. So
The good will always trump the bad, man.
Satan.
Like I said before to you, you'll spend your whole life worried about being a certain person and stuff, and then when you meet your day of death and judgment or whatever, you realize that all the problems in your life were just a minute long, and everything else was, even longer. You know what I mean? All the good stuff.
I'm doing it right now. I'm forgiving those that deny God. And myself, if I've ever denied God in past lives, in the present, future, now. Any of my family. Yeah, I got a family member that has. Yep, I forgive you.
Right. It's just like Carl Jung, you know what I mean? Some guy asked him, do you believe in God? And he looked at him like, I can't believe I'm being asked this question right now. Why do I need to believe in God? I know God. Why do I need to believe? Believing is an action to believe in something they have no clue of, right?
I mean, I actually heard this video. I listened to this video yesterday that was about the same thing. It's like when you know, then you don't really need to believe. To believe in something.
When you know, you don't need to believe.
Right. Yep.
Right. Because if you believe, you're unsure. I believe it's over there. I believe it's over here. I believe he has it. I believe she has it. I'm not quite sure, but I believe she might have it.
It's a possibility.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. There's
the contract itself. You know what I mean? It's, if you have a relationship with the spiritual understanding, this spiritual knowledge, then you know. You know what I mean? You don't need to believe.
Yeah, when you know God, you don't need to just believe in God, because you already know. You already know.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yep, your brother just needs to see the examples, and if he's on that path, just keep loving him and praying for him, bro. Pray for him that you can't do it.
Right. I when he talks about certain things and stuff, I give a little giggle and stuff, but I always say, man, you crack me up, but I love you. You know, like,
pray the Lord comes into his life.
On certain things because he needs the knowledge to understand what he's trying to say, so this way he doesn't continue to look like a fucking fool later on, you know?
I feel like he's the older brother.
I don't think he believes in Satanism. I don't think he believes in Satanism, dude. I think he just said that shit just to fucking kind of throw me off.
Well, instead of him being the one teaching you, you're teaching him. It's creating an opposite effect. He's...
Correct.
Upset. Exactly. He's upset. Maybe he has a little envy.
I am fucking with his...
ego.
His self-esteem, his self-esteem, man.
Yep.
So how does my little brother know more than I do? This is impossible.
Ask and thou shalt receive. Those who seek shall find.
I'm older than you. I should have more wisdom than you, no.
It's the Lord, bro. Believing is knowing. Well, knowing, yeah. Believing leads to knowing. Knowing leads to true redemption. You're good. Yeah.
You know things. I know things. I know this.
Yes. Exactly, brother. Exactly. You know?
I've
it's
had
just
time
kind
with
of,
it. I've read it. I've felt it. I understand it. I understand where it went. I understand how it evolved. Fascinating stuff. It really is, man.
it's definitely the makeup of all existence
The
and
DNA
reality.
makeup of human civilization.
I think it's extremely important. It's romantic in its own way. It's beautiful stuff. I tell you.
Drama. Yeah, it's a drama.
Yeah. There's something absolutely
That's why
stunning.
Shakespeare and all Shakespeare's stories were all significant stuff.
Well, it's funny,
I
they use the same language as the Bible.
I've already read and discovered too that Shakespeare was fraud. He was definitely a fucking fraud. He was a straw man,
Yeah.
an antichrist. And there'd be many, many antichrists.
Yep.
Shakespeare was one of them.
Dude, I'm making a piece right now. Well, the Spirit is. I'm working with the Lord. We're working on this piece
You're rapping right now?
Oh yeah, wrapping a piece. Found a nice seashell that makes an amazing pendant. I don't know what its worth will be or what it'll look like when it's all said and done, but I am truly putting this masterpiece together. A little piece of nice little Abraxas, something to last for a little while through the speculation of time. You know? Yep.
I can't wait to see you start doing dipping, man. Well, I had this vision in my mind where you create a crucible, right? You know what a crucible is?
Remind me again, refresh my memory. I've heard of this, yes.
A crucible is it's the clay pot
Okay.
you smelt metal in, right? So you use a crucible that's designed for your rocks to be able to dip half of it in there. You know what I mean? But when you make your liquid puddle of metal, of whatever material you use, into the crucible, and then you start putting wires, kind of like, going all the way around, going into the crucible where the liquid is, and then coming out of it. You know what I mean? Kind of like, cascading over the crucible. And then you dip your rock right into the center of it, and once it hardens, you take it out of the crucible, and now you've got this big fucking, thing of, web that you can use to twist all the way around it, and then the base of it is all the melted metal.
Okay.
But the wires are all working its way into the melted metal.
I'd have to actually see what you're fucking talking about. No. I'd have to fucking see this.
All right. Crucible, close your eyes.
Yep.
Imagine a little small crucible on your table, all right? And the indentation is maybe the size of a $50, okay? And it goes down maybe an inch or inch and a half in depth, all right? You go ahead and take your blowtorch and melt some metal.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I'm going to dip the stone in there and make a piece of metal that sticks to the stone, and now I can make a little bale, is what it's called.
Have multiple wires going from the outside, cascading, but all the center points are all touching the liquid metal. And then you put your rock base in the center with the liquid metal. As it hardens, all the wires are on the outside, all right, getting ready to, fuse up with the liquid metal. When you pull it out of the crucible, now you've got this big old, rock with the melted metal hardened on it and all these wires coming off of it. And now you can take those wires and start fucking doing whatever you want with it until it becomes, a nice necklace. You know what I'm saying now?
Yes. Yeah, I'm thinking about how much this...
It's very simple. Nothing too complicated.
No, I think that's the next step. Me and my dad were actually talking about that before we got into a huge entire fucking fight, actually. Now that I think about it, investing in a crucible. I wish we didn't fight, but we fought, so I need to accept that we fought, and why and how, and, try to make the best of it. I'm not, I've heard a couple things through the grapevine that he's kind of said things about me that I'm not sure how it was really being portrayed, but it was basically like a fuck Seneca moment, which is fine, I need to accept that people have had a negative outlook or perception of me for a very long time, and a lot of people, don't want to see their end in the situation. They don't want to see how they caused the situation or the origin of these things. Now, I'm trying to let the past, be the past. This is what everybody says Seneca's got to do. He's got to learn how to let things go. But it really does go. It takes two to tangle. There's, you know what? Now that I think about it, there's a tool missing. Where the hell's this tool? Okay. Where did this tool go? It's a wicked thin fucking... It's like something you can make beads with. Or push beads through. Yeah. It's yeah. Where did it go? Is it inside here? Yeah. Oh, here it is. Nice. This is it. Yeah, okay. I got it. Alright, here we go. Pushing these little things open. Oh, yeah.
Hey, brother.
Lon's doing better. It seems to be the more that I heal and stop with the whole entire division thing, but taking Lon in as myself in areas that Lon has not taken the time to heal. Like he's, more looking outwardly than inwardly. It's too much for him, he says. He's like, he doesn't like to always go deep inside and do all these psychological, spiritual things all the time. He likes to have, life. He's, more like leaning into it's those extrovert positions. So when you're in that level of life, you're not taking time to go inwardly to discover the whys and even face your own pain and stuff. He does it in his own way, which is good. So, he's...
Well, he's in the now. He has to live in the now because he has to support himself,
I live in the now too, but I also, didn't have a choice. I had to face things when I came back here. I thought I had healed the things and faced everything, and that was absolutely not accurate. And really, Lon is, again, he's really not living in the now because, Sarah's coming back in his life now, trying to borrow money off him and stuff. And he's like, I told him, I love you, bro, and I know you're a good guy, and I'm not trying to tell you what to do at all, but you're really not obligated to her anymore. It's like, I got a kid, and,
Did you really let her borrow money, man?
No, not at all.
Good, man. Good.
But he almost felt like he was...
If you're gonna bark up that tree again, man, don't cry to nobody anymore after this.
I'm looking out for him the best I can without telling him what to do. I'm telling him I love him, and I know that you believe that, you may be looked at as a bad person because you don't want to help her, but, I was like, Lon.
You're only looking at a bad person in her eyes.
She created this. She did divorce you, right? Yes. Did you want to get in a divorce? No. Well, kind of, yes. And I was like, okay, but, did you try to work on your marriage before it all ended? Yes, I did. How did she handle the divorce? What did she do? Well, she tried to take advantage of me, and he started to pull through everything that happened. And I was like, okay, think about what you're saying right now. Like, really. And, think about what she's putting on. It's one thing if, okay, I need help this one time, okay? And I'm not going to be able to pay you back. And if I can, I will. But I'm not going to. I'm going through a rough situation. But I will not ask again, ever again, okay? Then, or at least this year. Then maybe I could sit there and foresee maybe, okay, one time, one time. One time. We're talking a power bill. But I'm like, Lon, she kind of humiliated you. She's discriminated against you. She's, even now, she wants Lon to take all this accountability, and Lon's like, dude, I'm past all that. Dude, you have your parts in this too. I'm not.
He's gotta totally cut her off, man, and block her number.
I mean, I honestly don't see him doing that until, maybe when he realizes, when she gets more hostile. Like, I talked to my daughter yesterday. I guess she's talking about fucking killing herself, bro. It's been bad, bro, from what I hear. Like, not good at all. And a part of me wanted to go over there and be like, listen, Sarah, I just wanted to say, maybe, I should consider at least how you feel out of the situation. I'm not always right, and I know I have my perspective and stuff, but you know what? I just want to make amends. I want to say I love you, and I'm sorry, and I forgive you if you've ever done anything wrong to me, and let's just get off on a better foot, I mean, this ain't me inviting her to fucking be a part of my life. This is me sitting there saying, you know what? I don't need somebody in my life always having this negative fucking feeling that comes up whenever they think of fucking Seneca, okay? I just don't. It would be nice if maybe we could have a level of where, when Seneca comes up, it's not this fucking hateful vibe, dude. You know what I mean? And it would be nice if it was the same actually for Lon too, I mean, I'm not saying is gonna happen, but, thinking about all the women that have been in my life, all the women that have been in my uncle's life, my cousin's life, my mom's life, fucking, or my dad's life, I should say. Why do I have these vindictive women in our life? Where is this coming from? And I'd rather try to meet that with rationalization and go and meet her and just say, I forgive you. Maybe we can be on the right foot. And, you did marry my brother, and maybe we never really got along, but that's okay. But I'd like to just extend an olive branch, basically, in peace, and just see what happens. And then, cut ties, go my separate way in peace, rather than having this disharmony, And I'm not looking to be her counselor. I don't want to hear any of your bullshit. If she starts, I'll even let her know, you and Lon were both in that relationship together. I could try to pick sides all fucking day long, but it doesn't make me look like a good guy. You guys had a relationship, and you guys are probably equally just as guilty of everything that went wrong. And if you don't want to admit that, that's fine too.
Absolutely. I agree 100%.
Yep.
You know what I mean? They were both at fault for what happened.
I agree.
And personally, they have bad chemistry. They have bad chemistry together, and it shows. You know what I mean? So
I agree.
Stop being this hopeless romantic, thinking that things will get better. And things didn't get better. And when Lon did what he did a long time ago, and he had a case against him about fucking hitting one of her childs or whatever, he should have been right there and then. Enough is enough. I can't take this anymore. If I get another infraction on me, that's it. I'm going to fucking jail because of you.
He did do that. See, during that time, I was there for Lon, and I taught him shadow work, and Lon even said, Lon's like your brother, dude. He knows I'm right, but doesn't want to say I'm right, but yet has taken my advice.
Correct.
Okay?
Right.
So, I'm leading by example with Lon, basically, trying to be a better person, okay? The more that I'm a better person, lead by better example, Lon will follow suit.
That's why with my brother now, I try to, I'll say what I need to say, but I automatically know that you're not going to take this word and this information in, so, good luck to you. And the moment I say those things, that's when he speaks up and he starts saying, no, dude, I appreciate you saying all these things and stuff, but it's just like, I'm confused, blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Okay, so why play it off like I'm a fucking asshole when I'm trying to be nice to you and help you out to elevate you in your situation,
I was inside myself a couple days ago thanking you for being a part of my life and being my brother and fucking extending that love, and it helped me out a lot too. If there was any negative feelings that I was unaware of, I started to, paw through them and realizing that, you know, we are in this together. And there's a level of like, how could I believe that I'm of worth if I'm not recognizing the worth of my friends and making them feel worthy? And, you know, we've been on this journey for a long time together. So there is an equal merit of, you know, contribution here towards these discoveries and these joy of discoveries.
I can sit down with you and be exactly on point with your perception of thinking. Man.
Yep. And, you know, when we're dealing with somebody like our brothers, okay, they don't take the time to study this stuff. I'm sorry, they're just not. They're kind of in the world and are taking on a more, you know, identity persona. And again, that's like, so they can help us. They can help us try to visualize where people are in the world, okay? And how they're perceiving stuff. And, you know, people really believe that somehow their bank account matters, dude. Their fucking house, man. They're like, look at this new stuff I got. And they want you to be generally happy, you know? And there's a part of us that's probably not that fucking enthused. And, you know, we are intellectuals, okay? And with that, it comes with, I think, like, you know, with me and you and our community, basically, of self, we can find value in each other, okay? And what we contribute to, like, the evolution of consciousness and stuff. And what's sad is that, you know, our praise is going to have to come from each other to each other, okay? Praising each other as much as we want praise, we got to give praise. We got to recognize that value that, so, you know, maybe you need to look at your brother and tell him that you're fucking proud of him, okay? And be like, you know.
I've already done that. You're taking every action I've already done already out of my, you know, my noggin right now, because that's everything I've been doing. That's everything I've been practicing.
Nice.
To have with my brother right now is just to have an understanding and a love for him for whatever fucking shit I think he's doing.
I'm right with you, bro. I totally am, man. You know, dude, my brother called me, man, for the first time ever and was like, how you doing?
I make sure that when I talk to him with a certain tone of voice, and I don't twist that voice up in any shape or form. So this way,
I mean, to me,
you know, rub him the wrong way.
For the first time in my life, Lon called me like a brother, wanting to know how I was doing, and really didn't get too much about himself. It was about me. And he really cared. He was genuinely involved in the conversation. He actually appeared to really give a shit about me. I was not really doing so swell. He even like...
I hope I'm rubbing off. You know, because I call you guys all the time and say, hey guys, how you doing? I'm doing a welfare check.
Nice.
You know?
Oh, we think about you all the time.
About my brother and how the shit that I go through with him, and you know, and I tell him straight out, like, your brother loves you, and I'm sure it's vice versa and stuff like that. He says you guys are not coming together, and because there's a disconnection in communication.
It just needs. We need to stop thinking that we're always right. That's what it is. We need to like let them be right sometimes, even when they're wrong. Okay. Take deep interest in what they're doing, validate their emotions, listen to them.
Right. And all I do, I pray that whatever it is that you're believing in right now eventually become clear down the road. You know, I will plant my seeds. You can plant yours. Let's see which one grows the best. You know.
I mean,
so it is.
I personally think
I like that laugh. You hear the laugh, it was like... Where did that come from?
Because I'm thinking about, you know, where it's at as far as the reality of like, you know, yeah, you may think you're right. I'm going to go ahead and let you run with it. But there is a level of who's going to be right and wrong, and who's...
You grow your garden, I'll grow my garden.
Right.
See who does the best.
I'm right with you. You know, at the end of the day, you get to the top of the mountain, are you going to be happy if you're all by yourself? And the truth is no. So I think this is where we got to get off our high horse, humble ourselves, don't always think that we know everything, and allow ourselves to be better teachers by being more patient with them, more caring and compassionate. You know? What's that?
Yep. I said nobody doesn't know anything. We're all trying to do our best they can.
I drove it quite home that I never realized that sometimes I'm coming across in a very fire brimstone-ish kind of way that fucking pushes people away. It doesn't accomplish the job the way that we're looking to accomplish what it is as far as our intention and how the message is coming through, as well as its effectiveness. And I think also too, you know, like I said, we want to be valued, we want to be recognized for what we're contributing towards our family and everybody. And, you know, even I get in my own way about that I need people to appreciate what I put in, that makes us feel unappreciated. And, you know, we have every right to fucking feel the way that we do, but is it weighing down? You know, I think this is where we're like, you know, I had this theory, an epiphany, that
That's why I always make sure with you that when we have these conversations, and if we go up or if we bring up any certain topics, I always make sure that you get credited on whatever it is.
Yeah, I know what you mean, brother. I do.
You know?
It goes the same way. It really does. And I think that, you know, again, you know, I was about to say, you know, I really love Tony. And I have not allowed somebody to come in my life yet to love me the way that I love Tony, because I'm still processing, well, the death of my ex now, realizing, dude, she really loved me. And I let what went wrong get in the way of my cognitive perception of who she was that didn't allow me to love her that way again. Well, that's not fair for her. You see, that creates resentment and a lack of worth, man. And then I look at Tony, I look at April. You know, April, you know, April taught me a lot. The more that I go back, and I love April, and I love myself through April as that, and then getting with Tony. All these variations show me that if we're not going to get love from one person, be patient. Somebody will love us the way that we want to be loved. If we can allow it, if we can recognize it, begin to forgive and accept and move on. And that's where I'm at now, you know. And so it goes the same way with information and praise and, you know, and fucking wanting something from someone that we're not getting from this area. Can we recognize it and accept it in another area? Does this make sense? So I think that's where, you know, we're brothers in a way, man, that God knew that needed to be so that we can value each other, be a part of this journey together. And then it goes back to our earth brothers, the ones that God gave us as our biological brother. And, you know, I could be a symbol of your brother. You could be a symbol of my brother. That when something's going wrong in each other's lives, we should be looking out for our siblings, you know, because we need them as much as they needed us, you know. We needed them and became that what they need. Do you understand? You needed a big brother,
right.
You probably became more of a big brother than your big brother. Am I wrong?
Yeah, truthfully.
So, you know, that's where the both of us are rewarded that. And when I look at Kenny sometimes, you're like the polar opposite of Kenny, of me making better choices, and Kenny sometimes is that bohemian, like let loose and be an individual, and you know, but sometimes that's a little dangerous and can lead you into some crazy places, you know. And so it's good to be grounded and back towards that other side of the coin of more, you know. And so I've been looking at, what's that?
No, I'm disagreeing.
Yep. So when I look at what God has offered me for, you know, friends in my life is, you know, we're all in this together. If one starts to stumble and fall, we got to do the best that we can to try to figure out how to get everybody back on track. It's so easy to turn your back on somebody. It really is, man. But you're really only turning your back on yourself. And it happened, though. It happened to Jesus. Remember, they all turned their back on him. They did not. I'll never deny it. There's no way. And they did. So, you know, it happens. We all kind of fucking forget, you know, how special we all are in this, you know. And I think I think certain traumas bring us back together again. It's not about, you know, it's like, I don't know. We all got to start to expand upon what we have to offer for each other.
We just really need to start living.
I'm living right now.
Yeah, I am.
I'm living right now. I'm making a fucking beautiful piece of jewelry, and then I'm gonna go pick up a friend of mine, and he wants to hang out. I mean, a part of me wants to go by myself and enjoy myself, you know, and fucking peace, quiet, serenity, God.
You have a car now?
Yeah, there's a vehicle. It's my aunt's vehicle. She's been letting me use it to get out and, you know, go to nature and private places and meditate and be by myself out. What I wanted to do when I first got here anyways, which was to go to the beach and fucking lose my thoughts in the ocean and kind of walk down memory lane since I've been gone, you know. I still miss my mom, you know, and her being down the road. So sometimes I'll go to Stark, sit in her driveway where she used to be and cry, you know, and get it out. And looking back on, you know, did I make a mistake leaving? Should I have stayed? Well, I missed out on time. So what's more important, skill or time? You know, we got this drama between these people. Makes me want to leave people. But does that fix the problem? Because I decided that I didn't want to be a part of it because they were too much for me. Because of this, because of that. Any excuse I could possibly fucking think of. Because that's what we do. We create our own excuses to kind of, I guess, turn our back on our family and our friends and our history. And so, you know, as much as I want to leave, and then like what happened up north makes me want to go up there rather than here. But the truth is that maybe I'm needed here too. And, you know, nobody wants to say,
I think you need to become I think you just need to earn the title of becoming a snowbird, bro.
I think you're absolutely accurate on that assessment, brother. Truly. Okay.
I feel like I need to become one too. And,
you know.
I you know, I don't know. It's just a matter of time. I'm saving up my money. I have my money invested and stuff, but I sure when I come into some money, man, I'm definitely investing into a small little campground property up in Maine.
Yeah.
You know, have for as long as I fucking live. My aunts already have their own. They go up to summer all the way up to what's the name of the place? It's right along the coast over by Kennebunk. But anyways, it's a nice little campground facility. It's located next to the ocean. They have a mobile home, like a small little camper thing, tailgate, fucking camper.
Yep.
That they had stationed there, and what they do,
fifth
they
wheel,
take the wheels off it, put it on blocks, and they put a skirt around it, and then my aunt put a screened-in porch into it, and it's only open during season, and when season comes, everybody has to get out, and nobody lives there. But she only pays like, I don't know, like $2,500 for the whole fucking season. That's from springtime all the way up until fucking November, and that takes care of everything. It takes care of electricity, the water, the internet, and fucking the garbage removal, everything. I was like, damn, that's actually pretty good. And
yeah.
I'm considering it, man. Have like a vacation home up there. You know what I mean? Like a little campground. Cause I go up there all the time, man. You know what I mean? My sister still lives there. I still have family up there. You know.
When I go up there, I realize I've been gone too long, and that this is a part of me that is extremely important, and it is my life. I do know these people. They are a part of my family. They are like my family, you know. And so, There's a lot of attributes
That's why I said, man, like, if you can get away with it, I mean, I had this idea a long time ago, if you can get away with it, you do have a camper right now. Granted, it's not running, but it can run, and it just needs a little bit of time and effort to put into it to be able to make it run. But if you can find a piece of property that you can call your own, it doesn't have to have anything on it, just a piece of land, a small little lot, for you to be able to put your fucking camper on it, and like what my aunts did, they made a fucking, a little skirt that goes all the way around, so this way it hides the wheels, it makes it look like a stationary thing.
Yep.
And build a little porch off of it, you know what I mean? You'll have yourself a stationary place that you can call home, and then you can go and do the same thing up in Maine. So this way you can become a snowbird.
I agree, brother. Truly agree.
So this way you don't have to worry about traveling with such an old vehicle, you know what I mean? And not have to worry about, the expense of fixing a camper, you know what I mean, if something were to go wrong.
I really like the idea of that camper.
Instead, you turn them into little tiny homes.
Yeah.
You buy really cheap fucking campers that are no longer running, RV campers.
I do have a feeling if I went up there and was with Kenny, they would like basically make me a part of the family, and I'd probably park my camper and stay there for the summer or whatever. They probably would love to have me. At first I could tell that they were a little resistant, but the more that I talk about it, I think that they really want me up there, to be honest with you. Kenny, they're going through so much fucking grief, dude. And a part of me is like, well, why is it my problem? But then I think about it, are we not in this together?
But right, I'm thinking about it too. Like, you might want to be careful where you're treading right now, because they might be under, some kind of scrutiny or some bullshit that's going on the way you're describing that, there's some kind of, foul play going on with the investigation of, Bobby Lee and shit. And,
it's all the more reason to be there.
Bro, you know what I mean? The family is also targeted too.
Like I said, the more that people are there, the more that there is a level of unity that is kind of missing up there. This is what we brought when we were there, and what we left with was a sense of what is kind of missing in the elements of fucking community, bro. Is community itself. And when people are not there, it creates a sense of, almost an abandonment sense. No one's there.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. That's because humankind thrive for connection, bro. I mean, seriously. They always portray it in videos or movies or whatever when a person goes into solitude, man, because of an apocalyptic situation, man, they can't handle it. You know what I mean? They try to do their best to watch all kinds of movies or whatever, or even have a pet, a fucking dog as a fucking companion. It's still not enough. They need the human connection.
I see. Yeah, I agree. I do agree.
You need that intellectual to be able to exchange your thoughts. Because if not, who are you talking to?
I tried to get her down here, and even Kenny was like, no way, don't do it, man. And it was more like I don't know, it felt like a brotherly, like, jealous thing, not what's best for Bobby Lee, like, or even me, or what about our history that we've been through that kind of needs to heal? I mean, Bobby Lee's a human being, dude. She's not a fucking... a piece of trash that you just fucking throw away or turn your back on. Like, what the fuck? And,
I was listening to one of the videos that you had of Bobby Lee or whatever on your bedside journalism, and the way Kenny was describing it is that she was getting into some bad shit. You know what I mean?
I know. He was basically saying she was already dead.
She didn't have a problem with stealing from people or ripping people off.
He did. She was getting other people to do heroin.
And the way you described your relationship with, her and stuff like that, I was like, man, she's one of those fucking bitches, man. Probably like bipolar or whatever, and just wants to make you feel below her. You know what I mean? I've had those bitches in the past, man.
She did actually try to
really
do that, and then I didn't let her work. She was upset too that I would not let her try to take me down a few notches just so that she could feel superior, you know, trying to make me feel inferior.
Yeah.
And I didn't buy into the bullshit.
I've had girls like that. Man.
Yep. She was actually that kind of girl, which sucks that she had to try to emulate that in some way, trying to make me feel like I wasn't really a good enough guy because, or like good looking, or, you know, just trying to make me come down a few notches so she could feel better about herself.
Right.
And she did do that, unfortunately, you know, and it didn't look good on her, not gonna lie. Wasn't a pretty look. Yeah. You know, and
no bitch can play that fucking game no more.
already been through all that shit, dude. We're fucking full-grown men that have dealt with, you know, where we gave our full selves to women that, you know, wanted to pull moves like that. You fucking stop playing that game, dude. It's fucking, it's distasteful. It's ugly. It's fucking unattractive, dude. And it really is. And I don't know if, like, guys did this to women or something. Maybe that...
You know what? Now I'm thinking about the person that, you know, did that shit to me when I was dating her a long time ago is now a fucking lesbian. So it makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I guess when you're at war with masculinity, which is inside yourself,
yep.
Then that's going to be the only result, I guess, is going to be that.
Because she likes wearing the pants.
Tries to, exactly.
She can't have it any other way.
Yep, I've dealt with women like that, and well, I'm single. Yeah. So I do.
My wife doesn't like guys, man, and I'm very grateful for her. And, you know what I mean? Anytime she has problems or whatever, or she feels upset or whatever, we talk it out. You know what I mean?
Yep. Good communication. You know, getting to know one
expressive
another.
and stuff. You know, she's submissive, and you know, I'm submissive as well. But there's times where I'm not submissive over certain things, and she's not submissive in certain things, though. But no matter what, you know what I mean, we try to work at each other's, you know, desires and what we feel is fit. You know what I mean?
Hey, I learned from April, you know, if I got a problem with April, I'm going to take it up with April. Okay? My friends,
right.
You know, they don't need to know. I learned that with Lon, too. You know,
right.
Lon had a lot of things to say of the disgruntled outlook and, you know, perception of what's going on in his relationship. And for a long time, it was like, you know, I'm not going to lie, I was more of an advocate that it's better to leave than stay. But, you know, when you're looking at somebody and they really love this person and they made a commitment, that's not what they want to hear. That's not the advice. And, you know, maybe they even know in their heart probably staying is not good. And what I've learned by discussing one-on-one is that I need to hear from the other party because I'm not getting an accurate assessment. I'm sorry. What about her feelings or his feelings? How did they feel? What are they going through? You know, and I've been here, you know, and that made me take a step back and look at, like, you know, how many times have I degraded my couple and or my spouse and was in this, you know, one-sided relationship with my friends, not considering really what they need and how to have a better relationship through communication rather than this, you know. And when I look at Lon's situation, he really was being taken advantage of. I mean, he's a single guy at the one time.
Hey, sure fucking was.
Yep.
Hey.
Gets into this relationship with a fucking two-bit country little whore that, you know, and she was sleeping around long before Lon got there. And he still is upset that within them being married for 2 weeks, she took off and fucking, you know, he's led to believe that she sucked another guy's dick in the parking lot of the bar. And that was the beginning of their relationship.
I think the biggest issue with Lon is that he didn't want to break it off. He didn't want to be the first one to break it off or anything like that. So basically slacked in the end, where he worked the bare minimum or whatever, and didn't put up with her shit to the point where it would aggravate the fucking crap out of her to the point where she would be like, I want a divorce. So he subconsciously wanted it, but consciously didn't want it. You know? So he was ripped between both ways, and he was confusing himself. But the more and more he pulled himself away from it and the shit was going down, he realized this is what I really wanted the whole fucking time.
See, what she wanted is what Lon already has, which is being single, being free, being able to be whoever he wants to be. That's who he is. She can't be that way. She's got fucking kids, and they come with a major responsibility and sacrifice. And, you know, he doesn't have to be that guy. Never had to be. And that's the truth. You know? And I don't know.
He tried to play a role, and it failed.
She was fucking a rock star. She had it fucking made. My brother, you know, nobody's gonna love her the way my brother did. No one's gonna want to be around her fucking kids and tolerate that shit and try to put order and structure.
She'll once her kids are all grown up and out the fucking door, man, she'll find some other fucking sucker real fucking quick, man.
I guess her new boyfriend broke up with her. Didn't last very long. Probably started to catch on to all her bullshit. She's now suicidal, basically talking about some stupid shit, and saying now that Lon was probably the best thing that's ever happened to her now. And they're all saying, yep.
Because they're always going to fall on what they think is best, you know what I mean? Like, oh, I did have it good for a while with Lon, you know what I mean? Let me go back to that.
Well, Lon doesn't want to.
No going back. There's only moving forward.
Yep. Lon, well, you might get a second chance.
Stop laying it on to somebody else later on, you know?
God does offer miraculously certain chances. It might not be Lon. It might be a different Lon, but she's going to have to realize what she did wrong and try to rectify it, and then she might end up with a version of Lon, but not Lon, you know? And it might, like, you know, lead to something beautiful. Like I said, man, going to have to take that accountability stuff, you know? You're going to have to really look deeperly, you know? You know, I've been doing it too. And really, when I look back on April, not a bad first wife, man. You know, not bad at all. Women are crazy, and they're not fucking perfect. So, you know what? I had a pretty good wife going on there when I look back on it, okay? You know, there's a girl that I do like that I think is a pretty good prospect. She's, you know, spiritual, sensible, good, wholehearted girl. You know, very committable, looking for a really good guy, which is like, you know, certain kind of correspondences ain't exactly easy to find all the time, you know. So there's hope there, you know, and we'll see what happens, you know. But like I said, you know, working with my patterns with April and those things that went wrong by me reflecting and seeing what I did and, you know, healing, changing my frequencies, changing my patterns, my habits, this might potentially lead me to a better, wholesome relationship that will reflect those changes and accountability.
It will. So. And you know what? As you're doing all this work, dude, you're gonna realize when you do have another relationship with somebody, dude, it's gonna be a different dynamic.
The best fucking relationship I've ever had in my life. Yes.
You're going to lay everything right on the fucking table, and they're going to say, take it or leave it. If you don't want it, then go on. Here's the door. You're free to leave at any moment of time. This is who I am. This is who you are. Let's respect each other. Let's talk.
I'm right there. Right? 1,000,000%. No more changing anybody. Just accepting, loving unconditionally, and knowing what that means, and fucking loving each other.
That's what I said the same shit with my wife. I was like, this is who I am. You know what I mean? Take it or leave it. You know what I mean?
I'm right.
I think that's why my wife fucking loves me so much, man. I give it to her real. I don't beat around the bush. I don't lie to her. I'm very honest with her.
Yeah. Yep. I'm right with you. I'm working with God now. I'm being patient. Good things come to those who wait. Working on myself. I looked into some schooling today. I didn't get the information I wanted, so I'm just gonna take a step back and just chill. I'm making a fucking cool pendant right now. I'm on the phone with you. We've been recording the phone call now for 2 fucking hours. I mean, that's life right there. Being, marked down, great conversations, simplicity, good life, wholesomeness, making the right fucking choices all the time. You really can't go fucking wrong. There's a righteousness in there. There's a authority there that's good, dude, and it's just and it's righteous, and that's all that fucking matters. And we're all entitled to make a couple mistakes, and we move on. We make better choices from those mistakes, and hopefully we find love and deeper forgiveness and compassion for those that are not exactly walking the fucking line, because we're no fucking better. And we're going to make our own mistakes, just like they made their mistakes. And all we can do is have open fucking loving arms. Like I said, more you forgive people, you show that love, that's real, dude. That's that fucking shit, man. That's that specialty of life, really. All right, let's see how we can advance this thing into being a little bit more special. Let's see if we can fucking liven this thing up. Yep, the Bob Ross pendants.
I'm just curious to see how this year's gonna play out, man.
I'm gonna spend more time on right here, right fucking now. 2023 was crazy, okay? And 2024, well,
it's not over.
We're gonna have an economic. It's coming to that economic crash. That real economic crash. I think if people are gonna fight over toilet paper, man, we're kind of in a strange time right now, of where anything is fucking possible. But I definitely feel that they set the stage with COVID-19, that they're gonna go a little deeper now into the next level, which is force and authority. And this is time for people to make their move, their chess move. Okay, let them know that they're awake. Start creating a future where we're responsible and accountable. We know who we are.
I love the farmers over in France, man. You see the farmers over in France?
No.
The farmers over in France have been protesting big time, and they've been taking their tractors and all their farming equipment and going right down to the French government capital,
the parliament,
and all that shit, and
yep,
dumping fucking manure all over their fucking buildings, all because they're raising taxes on fucking farmers, and farmers are now retaliating, man.
They should. As they
farmers
should
are
hear.
Really fucking making their voice heard, man. They're tearing up the fucking roads that go into the city and everything, man, with their tractors.
It's kind of sad that Americans don't.
You gotta see it, dude. It's fucking awesome, bro.
I'm gonna. I'm excited. You got me excited now. Thank you. I like that. Yes. Sticking it to the fucking man.
They're sticking it to the man. They're going into these certain places. Pumping cow manure all over the building.
Wow.
These huge ass fucking bales of hay and fucking stuffing their fucking entry doorways with it. And
where'd you see this information?
Like I said, they're tearing up the roads that lead into the city, so this way there's no fucking import or export going in and out of the city.
Wow.
Until they lower those taxes, man, and the farmers get what they want, or what they feel is fair.
Do you really blame them?
No, I don't blame them at all. I think that is a model of the voice that we need to be fucking doing ourselves. You know what I mean? It's gonna come. Nation will rise upon nation.
Yep.
Kingdom against kingdom.
Well, that's been going on already.
Exoteric and esoterically.
Yep, you're absolutely right. It's happening. Yo, this pendant actually came out pretty fucking sick, dude. The bail's alright. Let me see here. Try to make this thing. Yeah. Still
Yeah,
looks.
dude, it's fucking crazy. I'm always on X, like, waiting for some fucking juicy information to come out, like, what's going on, because I see it all too clear now. I see what's the next move. And Trump, yes, if he does become president, and it's most likely looking that way, he's going to live it by a landslide. I think it's all fucking planned.
It is.
But
it is.
This whole idea of doing a global deportation, I mean a mass deportation in our country, sends off red flags saying, oh, martial law. That's the martial law that we've been all fucking talking about for fucking years now. J-Dome, all that shit. With the southern border, you know, with the train system and stuff.
Dude,
yeah,
this pendant's fucking sick. It's a seashell that's like more fossilized. Yeah, I'll have to send you a photo of it. It still does.
Did you find that video? Did you send that video to me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where'd you send it?
Facebook.
Facebook?
Yeah.
Oh, let me see if it shows it.
Hold on here. Let's see if I can get this a little bit better. Yeah, I wonder if the seashell has any properties to it. Looks alright. It is good though. You know what, I should put it on a necklace and see how it looks. Yeah. This must be one of the originals, because this thing is fucking old looking. Alright, take these off. There we go.
Yeah. Oh, that is pretty cool. Is that coral? Yeah, coral, right?
Yeah, it's like a seashell coral type deal, yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you chose copper, or is that rose gold?
Yep, copper and silver.
Two different.
Yeah, it's copper and silver. It's not bad. You know, they sometimes look better the next day, or let's see.
Yeah, once you give it time to settle in.
Yeah.
You wake up the next day, what the fuck was I thinking? Oh.
Sometimes, you know, sometimes I look at it, I'm like, dude, that thing is fucking awesome, man.
It's like painting a portrait on acid, man. Like, oh man, this is gonna look so fucking awesome while you're on acid, man. Like, oh. Next day you look at it, you're like, wow, that was some good shit last night, man.
Man, I really only mostly have that effect on fucking alcohol. Making a song, you're fucking wasted. You check it out the next day, you're like, I'm not gonna show anybody that. What the fuck was I thinking? Oh yeah, I wasn't, I was wasted.
Yeah, incoherent.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. I think it's going good though. We're fucking moving forward in a nice positive even keel. Lon's for the most part I think doing good, you know. Sometimes you're doing good and you don't think you're doing good, and then somebody tries to come in and fucking shake up your fucking reality, and you're like, you know what? I'm doing way better than I thought.
All I say is that, right, and when I feel like there's not a good time, I can say, hey, it could be a lot worse.
Yep. Exactly. That's where I'm at in my life right now. Yep, I'm good, you know? I ain't really against this girl in my life, but I'm kind of against this girl in my life, so I'm all set. I'm gonna move forward with my blessings and keep doing the right thing. Yeah, moving forward, man. You know? Stay away from negative shit, you know? At least for the most part.
Have you talked to the Uncle Joe at all?
Actually, I called him up yesterday and wished him a happy birthday. He was totally happy and excited that I called him. He was like, holy shit. Yep, he was actually happy that I called and everything. Hey, Seneca. Answered the phone. Yeah, I must have rubbed off on him because I left and he seems to be a lot more fucking chipper. You know, total different disposition of life. He's, you know, his demeanor and everything seems to have changed and is a lot more positive. No, you know, doesn't seem all doom and fucking gloom, which is nice. Yeah, he's in Greece. That's where he's at. Leaving there in a couple of days. Yep. I'm happy for him.
Green Maine?
Yeah, he went to Greece.
Oh, Greece. I thought you said Green Maine. I was like, oh shit. I was like, that's not too far away from where my sister is.
Well, what time is it? Fucking 3:51. Let me see this book. 3:51. Started at 2:21. So.
What's that?
2, 3 is 1.
Oh, the Sunday?
Yeah. 20, 51, 60, 70. So about 3 hours. 9. Wow, 3 hours.
When do you factor into your cost?
Oh, I always, mark down the date, the time and how long it takes me to make the pendant.
You know what would be cool with this?
What?
I mean, I'm just thinking of it now. If you get another coral piece like that, if you can get some anodized blue wire, because, you know, blue represents the ocean, you know what I mean, kind of.
Okay.
Or green, or anodized green or something, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something that represents seaweed, you know, like.
I threw away all the colored wire because I like it to just be silver or copper or real gold. You know, other than that, everything else is like fake. And is that gold? I did buy more gold. No way. All right. I had no fucking idea.
I mean, that copper wire will anodize or float anyway.
You know, it does. It takes a while, but I've seen it. It does. It's cool as fuck, actually. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, the more you touch it or, you know, put some of your sweat on it, all that sodium inside your sweat will help oxidize it really quick. Always days.
Hold on, check out my bread. It's starting to smell funky. My bread starting to smell a little funky.
Your bread is funky?
Yeah, you know.
Did you put it in the freezer or the refrigerator?
No, it's sitting here on the counter. But it's not bad. There's no mold on it, but it's starting to smell funky, so I'm just gonna throw it away. Smells like
Yeah, don't chance it, brother.
Yeah, I'm good, man.
Sensitive stomach as it is. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm thinking like, you know, there's nothing wrong with a little tiny bit of mold, man. It's not gonna hurt anybody. It might even help you out. But I think I'm good this time. Yeah.
If next time you put your bread inside the refrigerator, it'll last a lot longer.
You know, I do, and I got some shit fucking Lately, my appetite's been wonky, man. Buying stuff and then it just sits there a while, so I'm like, okay. And I have like, you know, I don't know, like was out and driving around and fucking Lord told me I can, you know, have some cash or whatever. So I was like, well, I'm gonna buy a pizza at fucking Little Caesars. So I ate a little bit of some Little Caesars. You know, I've been really, I don't know, really not eating really that much, dude. Fucking mostly liquids. I did kind of develop an appetite a little bit here and there for coffee, but it's been cold, and I like the coffee during the cold. I don't know, it reminds me of New England, like, you know, when you're fucking out there in the street.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I like it.
It's a comfort thing.
I really miss Benefit right now. I miss Benefit. I miss Saco. I miss Maine. You know, my daughter, she wants me to go because she knows that I'm happy up there, but I need to focus on, you know, I was out there a couple days ago and I was like, you know what, Florida's not that bad. And I like that, you know, that's the mentality I'd like to have. Keep moving forward, seeing this place as not really
that's
that
why
bad.
I said, you know, you might as well start continuing yourself with Snowbird.
Yep.
And it might be good in your favor too, so this way people feel like they're not getting too much of Seneca. And when that time comes, you're like, oh, my time has expired, gotta go home. Or fly to north, or fly south, or, you know, and then, you know, because you know how people are. When you leave for a little while, you come back, they're all excited, you know, but if you're there.
I like to break these stupid patterns, man, of my childhood. You know, that's what I realize it is. Oh, you gotta go, you know, and then I leave. Well, it's been going this way ever since I was a kid. And I'd like to break these patterns, these so-called realities, you know?
I don't know. I'm starting to consider it that this is my, you know, this is my calling, this is my destiny, this is who I should be, you know what I mean? Like, I do feel like I get stagnant when I'm staying in one place for too long, you know, even with jobs, you know what I mean? Like, I'm constantly looking for the next dopamine or kind of some kind of stimulation that helps with my nervous system.
I know what it is. I just spent 5 years fucking basically couch surfing and fucking going from one place to the next place to the next place to the next place and feeling like it would be nice if I could sit still for a minute and fucking have a home, a real reality of a home,
right.
You know? And other people don't know what that's like because they're fucking always in one place all the fucking time. They don't know what that's like.
Right.
They don't know what it's like to move around for 5 fucking years straight. You know? That shit's crazy, bro. Fucking weighs on you. You want a family. You want to sit down. You want a fucking zip code. You want a little place to sit there and call home. You know? These people don't know what that's like. You know? But then again, there's magic being on the road. There's magic meeting fucking strangers. You're meeting people. You know? It's a fucking beautiful life.
Right.
You know?
That's what I'm saying. There's a new, there's a continuation. It's a semicolon in your fucking life that there's a continuation to the story. You know?
Yes.
You know?
Hey, Lord!
I want to get that tattoo.